told you you're my pole. Through the wind and fire, we tried to hold on. We built this ship together, searching for a home. Despite the storm that hit us, we're still on board. Dancing in the moonlight, the world just stopped and stares. We got no destination, I'll take you anywhere. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed. Words just come together, story that we never told. So far forsaken for my own. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. From our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. I'll be your captain. I'll always be your captain. I'll always be your captain. You told me I'm your anchor, I told you you're my pole. Through the wind and fire we tried to hold on. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed. Words that come together, story that we never told. So far forsaken for my own. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. From our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. Be your captain. I'll always be your captain.
In here. Hello. I think we're live, but I still hear music. Hello and welcome to the VDC. It's a Wednesday night. We are on a regular match night tonight. We're going to Contender tonight for PFC's Candymen taking on the Grass Touchers Sod Gods. I am Chill the Rose. Joining me tonight on the cast is Nadesy. Nadesy, how are you? This music is bumping.
The music is definitely bumping tonight. I am quite excited. Getting a solid contenders matchup tonight between two pretty good teams, or not really. They're teams, I guess. after double checking.
I just realized why the music was bumping. By the way, I forgot to mute the stream I have open in the other tab.
Oh no, it's loud for me too.
Oh, I'm not hearing anything. Are you hearing it through vMix? Because I'm not hearing anything.
I'm not hearing it through vMix, but
I have the stream muted now, so I'm not hearing it anymore.
Not just on the YouTube tab I have open. It got loud.
Yeah, well, we are, I think, awaiting one player to join the lobby. Hopefully they will join soon, and then we'll be able to get into this match. Now, this matchup features the dead last team in Contender, the Candymen. They are long since eliminated from playoffs. They only have 2 matches left to play, so they're just in it for the pride of it. They are, I believe, 3-21. Had a rough go of it. I understand there were some choices made by the former GM of the Candymen of playing for Candy. That the new GM Apollo, who is playing in this matches on this contender team, is attempting to turn around for next season. This season, of course, a bit of a lost cause for them, but they could look to play spoilers to the Sod Gods tonight. I am checking every Discord tab or browser tab I have open. Yeah, the Sod Gods currently in a dead heat for second place in contender with Decaf. And while maybe not the biggest deal which team gets second or third, neither of those teams wants to drop to fourth place, which they are only one game clear of. Flawless Falafels of the Omnipotent Sandwiches currently holding that spot, because fourth place means you get to play Lucky Sevens Snake Eyes in the first round of playoffs, and that team is 21-3.
Yeah, Snake Eyes have definitely been having their way with this contenders division. So yeah, both teams, like you're mentioning, definitely wanting to stay above it. But even with that, they still technically could drop out of playoffs if I'm looking at this right. With you got Team Positive, Anti-Tilt, they're in fifth right now at 13-11. They still have a very solid shot to make playoffs if things go their way over these last two match days.
Yeah, Sod Gods have plenty to play for sure. They got to make sure they keep themselves in playoff contention, keep themselves in that playoff spot. Team Positive could be coming for them. Also, second seed, not the biggest deal as we said. It's just determines ban order in the best of three, but maybe that ban order is important to them. Could be important, could play out as being important in that match. I am hearing word that our last player should be joining shortly. We're getting some conflicting I'm getting some conflicting information on that front. Hopefully we will be getting into this match shortly. The first map will be Haven. Map 2 will be Ascent. This is only a 2-map set. As we are just in a regular match week. We're back in the regular season. We've been streaming so many playoff matches. I'm a bit unused to these best of these best of twos as they were. But we're back with one tonight.
Yeah, Haven and Ascent, definitely, personally, two of my favorite maps in the map pool. Bind is up there, but excited to get into some Haven, get into some Ascent. Two of the classic maps from Valorant's release, and to see teams kind of stick to them is always nice to see. Not stray too far towards the newer maps.
I'd almost call these, with Pearl, of course, not being in our map pool this season, as we started the season well before Pearl was released. I'd call these two of the most typical, I would say, TAC FPS maps. Both 3-lane maps. Obviously, Haven adds B site and C site, I guess, but adds a third bomb site, spike site. Bit unusual, but ultimately, I don't think that changes how it plays too much. Both of these maps, both Ascent and Haven, I think, really traditional. So nothing too exciting, perhaps, nothing too interesting, but also a lot of interest to be found in how these teams will play these maps out.
Yeah, definitely, like pretty much everything you were mentioning. They're not super crazy maps. They don't really have. I mean, they kind of have their own little gimmicks, but not as crazy as Bind's teleporter or Icebox's just weirdness, I guess I would call it. Or Fracture not having a traditional defender spawn. It's kind of that's really the mid there. So yeah, definitely some good classic maps being brought out.
While we're here and still waiting, I'm just going to go through, obviously for the Candymen, who did start 2-0, not a ton of information I think to be gained by checking these specific maps. 3-21, not the best record in the world, but I want to go through while I can and see if I can check some of the scores for the Sod Gods. It does look like they've played both these maps. Yeah, at least one each so far. So I'm just going through their map pools, their previous matches, seeing what they've got. It looks like they're 0-2 on Ascent so far in my counting. Oh, that's a win for them. 1 and 2. They did actually beat the Candymen on Ascent before. These teams have played once. Everyone played Ascent that week, or that match day, it looks like, almost. But Sod Gods did take that Ascent map 13-9, so pretty close, all things considered. They did not play Haven that day. They played Icebox instead, so no Haven in the past for these two teams, or in their past matchup. I'm still just going through looking for ascents first for the Sod Gods. It does look like they have a pretty bad record on ascent. 2-4 maybe, if I'm counting that right, not discounting a match which I think they played 4v5, given that the scoreline was 13-0. I'm gonna pull up the tracker on this, but this does look like a 4v5. This is a 3v5. That is so much worse. Poor ATO. That was Rock'em Sock'em that night, who were left isolated. It does look like perhaps the last player has joined the lobby. I'm getting Discord messages from 3 different people trying to figure out what information I'm getting. Apologize for my keyboard clacking sounds. I know those come through. In terms of Haven, oh, here we go. All right. I was going to say I was going to start looking for Haven matches. I think they've got only a couple, but doesn't really matter. We're actually getting in the game now. Very excited for this. The Sod Gods will be attacking first and already have Dreamer locking in the Omen. So they will be on Omen. I am getting a bit of a scuffed vMix feed on my end. Is that the case for you as well?
It is a little blurry, yes. If that is what you're referring to.
Either way, there's the second lock. We've got double controller coming in.
And it's Viper.
Viper on Haven, an interesting pick. Okay, our stream quality, the feed quality has gotten better. Solgi going with the Reyna. I know she's been playing that a lot. It does look like Milos will go to Sky. Yellow the Flower is hovering. Sage could be the last lock in. We do have some Phoenix hovers coming out of the side of the Candyman. I actually don't know if I'd be that surprised to see that locked in after the buffs and with very little to play for. Maybe they play around with some fun picks here.
Yeah, I mean, for Sod Gods, a very, very untraditional comp. Really, Sky and Owen being the only 2 players you
choose your agent.
Play, or really any play. And then, yeah, Candyman, just kind of nothing to play for. Go out and have some fun. Pick whoever you feel. Like, still waiting on Deadshot to lock somebody in. And once they actually started picking agents, pretty standard comp. No duelist, but should still be fairly doable.
No Phoenix, unfortunately. I kind of expect someone to pull out a Phoenix sooner rather than later. If only for the fun of it, especially as we wind down our contender and premier seasons. But Candymen do want to win. They want to play spoiler here. They want to have something to build upon for next season. As we are loading in here, we do have the double controller comp out of the Sod Gods that might in part be informed by their substitute. Juan Valdez on the Viper is a controller main, so we have double controller mains on this team right now because Dreamer also their typical controller player. I know Solgi has been playing a ton of Reyna, and Solgi, I want to apologize in advance. I am looking at the pronunciation you sent me. I'm not sure I'm doing it right. If I am getting that wrong, I'm so sorry. On the other side, we see the Breach, we see the Chamber, a Sage on both teams, which is a bit interesting. The Fade and the Omen. Very, very typical comp, save the Sage from the Candyman. Although no duelist to speak of, which is a bit interesting.
Yeah, and really, when you look at it, Sellout, locking in the Sage, noted one-trick Neon. That would have been the duelist pick right there, and they kind of just avoided it entirely. That's an interesting decision there. I wonder if starting on defense, they decided to stack with that double Sentinel and get those extra rounds to build off of for their attack half. Looking like Candyman. Gonna want to lean towards A for their first hit. Still got Sage chilling in spawn. As soon as I see that, making a move.
I think you got a bit baited by our observers' player colors because Candymen are actually on defense for this first round as the Sod Gods are rushing towards A, and it looks like they want to go fast. Deadshot here holding the flash, will peek out, but the Viper wall is actually in front of it. Interesting play. Nothing but bullets exchanged though as the hit is starting to come in. Lots of players here grouped up in short. Solgi and multiple players now, I think, seized, but Yellow the Flower and Juan have pushed out through long. They found 2. Yellow the Flower will found a second herself. It's going to be a 5v2 as the spike will go down. Apollo here going towards heaven with Sellout as the last 2 alive. Sellout immediately going for the boost. Wall breaks, unfortunately. But Apollo will find 1. That might have just been blind spam or perhaps Dreamer getting overly aggressive, teleporting into heaven.
There.
A slightly low player, but we got this double setup in hell. This is going to be difficult to deal with. A Sellout will be the first to go in, goes down to Milos. Milos will find the second as well as Apollo goes down. Nice little open and shut round for the Sod Gods as they'll take the first pistol.
Yeah, Candyman's A site hold just a little weak on that breach flashpoint. Trying to swing out and get some early contact, didn't really make any damage, and then the team just swarmed site, and the hold of Omen or Made and Deadshot not really able to get anything done.
There.
And this actually, oh no, Sod Gods did win the round. My mistake. I thought I saw a force buy. That's what I get for having conversations while the match is ongoing, as Solgi's going to lead the charge into the site. Spike should be going down for the Sod Gods. They're going to wall off Garage. Meanwhile, though, Milos trying to lurk through Garage goes down. That is a Spectre handed over, and this wall of the sideways variety. This Haunt also seeing many players never got shot, though. Juan will find the first onto Apollo. Yellow the Flower finds Strider Spider as well. It's on to the last 2 as Sellout's gone down on the flank as well. It's down to 1. We will see what Mahdi can do as he is left in the 1v4. First player, Dreamer goes down. Spectre recovered, has to get this kill onto Solgi. The dink, nobody's going down here. Solgi's gonna slip away. The time has run too low. And oh, Mahdi just turns at the wrong time and does go down. It'll be 3 alive, 3 Spectres kept alive for the Sod Gods as they take an easy second.
Very nice round for Sod Gods. Very clean side take, given up for free by Candymen. A little bit of econ damage done by Candymen and on the host planet, so that kind of helps them out a little bit, but yeah, just open a shut round for Sod Gods getting that 2-0 lead.
Nice quick execute by them. There will be better weapons now in the hands of the Candymen, who of course have rifles coming through, though there is a Bulldog I saw amidst these selections. As again, we see this Viper pick. This, I think, has been the standard Viper while Juan Valdez has been throwing. Very, very interesting.
It's drawn quite the rotation out of Candyman. They have 4 on A site, and it's not even close. C site is the site of choice. It's going to be all in the Mahdi. Getting 1, and that should draw the rotation pretty quickly.
Yeah, Milos trying to pop flash around this corner. Won't find anything. Does have garage control for now, though, but it will be a 5v4 retake for the Candymen. And numbers in their favor, weapons in their favor. They should have a good shot at this round. We'll see if they can clear Milos, though, as Spider is going to go down. Milos will find a second onto Mahdi as well. Should be someone here to trade this. That's another ding. Milos has nowhere to run, though. Finds a third somehow. Goes to the Classic, finds a fourth. Could be on for the ace here. 5 hits with the Scream. It is the ace for Milos. What a play in Garage. And that just clears up the round. It's a bonus conversion. The Sod Gods are up 3-0.
What was that? That was something. Milos getting almost sabotaged by his own team. Yellow the Flower walling off Garage and keeping him stuck in there, but still able to come away with the ace. What a big round.
Yeah, I think it's the old I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me out of Milos, who goes absolutely insane in that round to find all 5 and just completely shatter the Candymen's attempt at a retake. So now they go in with very little money here in this 4th round, as it looks like the Sod Gods do want to go towards A for real this time. No Viper Wall, interestingly, has been thrown yet, as Solgi will flash and get flashed by Deadshot. The concuss will also come through. Deadshot going to get a fair duel with Solgi, but not with fair weapons. Will go down, and that will open up the site push as Solgi, she leads the charge. And nobody's going to decide to contest all 5 by themselves. This should allow the spike to go down. They are instantly breaking the stage wall, though. I think we're going to see a quick retake in from the Candymen as I saw the paranoia going through. Yellow the Flower, though, finds the first onto Madi. Milos finds another clean headshot. Sellout swung out. Doesn't go down yet, but Apollo has dropped. It's all on to Sellout in the 1v5. Spectre in hand. Can't find Solgi. Goes down. Another clean round out of the Sod Gods. A flawless round out of the Sod Gods, and they are up 4-0, and 2 of their players still haven't died.
Yeah, Sod Gods just having their way right now. You're looking at Candymen's stat line. They have 4 combined kills in 4 rounds, which not off to a great start, and they need to figure something out fast before this game slips too far away from them.
They should be on the bye here. Bit of a scattered bye, though, in part. I think some of that is stylistic choice from a couple of these players. We will see some rifles coming up, though, as they look to convert their first round. And that haunt-in window does spot Solgi going forward. She will slow down, as will the team behind her. Slowdown was just for a second, though. The Lear is going to go through, and they're going to start pushing their way through Garage, trying to crunch this C site. Apollo is going to be here to defend, takes the headshot, goes for the reload. Solgi swings out and finds Sellout. Apollo tries to find the trade, but can't. Meanwhile, Maji has found one in Garage. Garage control still in the favor of the Candymen, I believe, but 2 are going to drop, 3 are going to drop. It's all on to Deadshot in the 1v4 now, and Yellow the Flower has lurked up behind. It's another win for the Sod Gods. They keep 4 alive.
Yeah, Sod Gods just continuing with their utter dominance so far this map. There's really nothing that Candymen have done up to this point that's gotten even remotely close to winning a round. I think they've had 2 falls already, Sod Gods have.
Yeah, they've been playing very well. Apollo will have the Tour de Force out in this round, and they are starting to push towards his site. He's posted up on this very off angle. Of course, classic chamber nonsense. You can post up wherever you want. Meanwhile, Solgi and Milos have already pushed up into Garage, and they're going to find the first onto Spider as they drop. Madi's going to have to retreat and give up this space. Meanwhile, Sellout trying to look for some control of mid drops, and this is going to get the Viper's Pit out, though Dreamer goes down as they can't scale forward. The Viper's Pit, importantly, though, does stay up. Juan Valdez is still alive. Solgi gets the turn onto Madi. That'll make things very difficult for the retake as a Tour de Force has to push into this Viper's Pit. Apollo clearing the backside, pulling back out the Tour de Force. So difficult to clear these angles, and Solgi will just take off his head. She's on 3 for the round, is flashed off by Deadshot, should go down here. Soaking bullets like a sponge, but eventually does drop. It's all onto Deadshot, who goes for the weapon swap, but Yellow the Flower swings out on the timing. She takes down the last. Only 3 alive this time, but a 6th on the board, a 6th on the trot. It's 6-0 Sod Gods.
Maybe a little bit of momentum starting for Candyman. I don't really know what they could do here. I think one thing I've really noticed is Apollo holding onto that trademark, not putting it down anywhere. I think that's at least 2 rounds in a row he's had it and hasn't placed it. See, that's the one piece of chamber utility that's great for defense, so to not have it thrown, kind of hurting the team there.
Certainly could be helpful, especially with the Garage control they've been giving up. They will go with a lighter buy on this round as Deadshot is holding the long angle with the Marshal. Nice use of the Viper wall, though. Lets them lurk out here. It's a very interesting Viper play by Juan Valdez, and I have liked it so far. As Mati is actually just going to go straight for teleport into the attacker spawn, but Cafe Juan Valdez will find him. The play doesn't really work. Meanwhile, Milos and Yellow the Flower and now Solgi have all worked their way onto the B site. The spike should be going down shortly. The retake is immediately here as it tends to be on the B site. But Apollo is down. The Rolling Thunder comes through, but can they get through the slow orb to capitalize on this? I don't think they're going to. Spider throws in Prowler, but they get smoked off. Solgi missing shots on a dead shot. Meanwhile, I think Juan Valdez is playing lineups in spawn. Deadshot will find Solgi so they can start to work their way back towards the site. See if they can find Yellow the Flower. They can't. She turns on Deadshot. Dreamer will find Salad as well. It's all on the Spider. They go down. It's another clean round from the Sod Gods, who are just looking to have their way on this Haven map.
Yeah. Candyman, Deadshot popping that Rolling Thunder, but was instantly countered by the Sage Slow Orb and halted any capitalization attempt for Candyman. And Sodgod's just another very clean round.
Yellow the Flower and Cafe Juan Valdez both have, unfortunately, for the Sod Gods, or for the Candymen rather, have not died yet. As this will be, I think, a better purchase out of the Candyman. I only got the scoreboard for a split second. Mod D, though, is going to be called upon here to defend the A site from a coming push. Almost had a bit of a crack of an angle there. Doesn't know that these 4 players, now 5 players are pushed up this far. Does get flashed by the guiding light, has to run away. Unfortunately, caught running away, and Apollo tries to push out and get something done, but doesn't. The Nightfall will come through very quickly, though, and Deadshot will find the first. Sellout also finds one. Spider trying to find one, but they will not, as they were concussed. It falls to Deadshot in the 1v3, and Spoggy will clean him up. It is 8 on the board, 8 in a row for the Sod Gods, who are looking to make sure that everything goes their way, everything stays nice and clean, and their playoff spot stays exactly as it's been.
Yeah, a very, very interesting. I didn't exactly see whose dark cover it was, but it was right on the edge of C, and if it was Madi's, is something that should be worked on. That allowed 4 of Canyon or Sod Gods to look right into sight and then pop flash out, and the site was lost at that point.
All right, Sellout pushing up with the Judge into short. The hit is coming towards A. See if anyone walks into that Judge. As Spider, the only other player here to defend. They're going to be called upon here to try to get something done. Unfortunately, can't find the pick. Solgi will take them down, but the shotgun comes out late from short, but the range is too far. It's all on to the last 2, as Mod D and Deadshot are going to have to attempt to find a way to salvage another lopsided round. They're walled up behind, and this lurk from Milos could just be the dagger if they don't clear it. It doesn't look like they're even considering it, and Deadshot is about to be dead man, and he is. It's all on to Madi, 1v5, exactly where you want to be. Will throw the paranoia below, try to step into sight, but will go down to Solgi. None of the Sod Gods had even left sight yet. It's another flawless round for the Sod Gods. The Candymen are really looking for anything right now.
They're gonna have to look a lot more. I don't think they're even close to getting around right now. It's gonna take a miracle.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do think they're just getting thoroughly outplayed in most aspects of the game at the moment.
Yeah.
And hard to even win rounds when that's the case. Pretty much the whole team really struggling to find frags, and utility usage out of the Sod Gods has been nice. They're very coordinated, they push out together as a team, and it's been hard to deal with for the Candymen, who are often getting double swung, and even if it's just one player, often fighting with lesser weapons. We'll see what Solgi goes for here, as she is alone on A-Long. The rest of her team has made their way the other direction. She will throw the Leer in, probably drawing even more rotates, and does so. That's actually going to be most of Candyman rotating away, and she'll get a pick as well as she runs the other way, the classic Lurk Reyna strat. We love to meme on, but actually proving very effective. Pulls the entirety of the Candymen off of the C site. Now they're aware of the spike being planted.
There.
Although Deadshot still seems concerned about a player in mid. They will get the resurrection up, so it's going to be 5v5 on the retake, but I believe lesser guns in the hands of the Candymen. They're not really going to be fully aware, are they? Oh, they are aware of Solgi's flank, and Apollo will take her down. The time is starting to tick against them, and that garage wall is still up. Deadshot finds the first shot, but can't find enough. Yellow the Flower with full armor will heal herself back up. Sellout, meanwhile, has found Dreamer, but time is starting to run low. They do find Yellow the Flower as well. Cafe Juan Valdez is playing back for lineups just in case. Milos will find Strider. Spider will go down to Apollo, but these last two haven't had time. Still don't, and the spike will explode. It's going to be the clutch over to Cafe Juan Valdez, a bit of a cheap clutch, but a clutch nonetheless, who will fall eventually. So the Candymen do get all of the kills, but still cannot find the round as they go down 10-0.
That was the best round I've seen out of Candyman all game. Hopefully they're able to build off that momentum. Just noting Yellow the Flower dying for the first time ever. Quite unfortunate. 12-0 before dying for the first time.
Was that also Cafe Juan Valdez's first death?
I believe that was his second.
Oh, it was his second. I must have missed his first.
Yeah, Reyna or Solgi with one leer onto A site drew the entirety of Candyman onto A site, and it was a complete fake going on to C, get the plant, and still almost lost around a little time to their side.
Yeah, there's a lot that can be said about the lurking Reyna meme, right? Oh, as these two players have just passed. Solgi's actually going to Solgi's going to go down. Dreamer also, they will drop. Sellout finds two freebies. He's going to wall himself into C-Long. I don't think this was on purpose. We'll see, though. As the Seeker will also find him. Dreamer's going to get back on their feet as well. It's going to be a 4v4 site, though, still not taken by the Sod Gods. They're kind of caught up in garage here and a bit, if not surrounded, pressured. And Deadshot with the read is running back towards A, which perhaps is where the Sod Gods want to go. Milos actually seems determined to go C still. This Dreamer is taking a lot of space through the back of garage. Is going to actually lurk around the back of B. Might find Strider Spider looking the wrong direction in a couple of seconds. They actually just completely miss each other. I don't think Strider's either. Okay, Strider will get Dreamer as they'll get the kill on the board. The rest of the Sod Gods are making their way onto site. Wall is up. Spike is being planted, but Sellout doesn't want to give it away. Will end up going down, and the Viper's Pit will go up. It's going to be a 3v3 retake attempt for the Candymen. Perhaps best odds they've had all game as they're going to start to push in. Cafe Juan Valdez here, pushing through Viper's Pit. Doesn't find anyone on the other side. Strider Spider will trade Yellow the Flower. Has orbited around the entire rest of the enemy team, though, as Cafe Juan Valdez finds Deadshot. It's all onto Strider Spider in this 1v2. They start to push forward. Has no idea where these last two players are. Probably doesn't expect both to be playing outside of the Viper's Pit. As it drops, Milos turns and finds Strider looking. It's going to be another close round. The Candymen are starting to almost get there. But unfortunately, that is now 11 in a row, and we are just 2 rounds short of a potential 13-0 here.
Candyman off to a really strong start on that round. Got the 2 opening picks, and then the round slowly rolled away from them over the course of the remainder.
A bit of Sellout giveth and Sellout taketh away there. Found the 2 picks, but then got overeager while Spike was going down. Perhaps was trying to prevent Spike from going down to play time. Either way, a little too eager, a little too far forward.
Yeah, definitely trying to make the hero play and ended up being a 0 play.
Okay, Candyman fully aware that this is an A hit, and they're going to actually, that Rolling Thunder finds 4 in long. Immediate flank from Sellout. I might have just been missing some shots on the Dreamer or just chose not to shoot. Swings out long and actually can't find anybody. And the trap has been sprung, but it unfortunately has been broken as the Sod Gods start to rotate away. We'll get a 1-for-1 on site. The Sod Gods, in the meantime, are all the way up to C. We're going to get the duel between Spider and Dreamer again, which Spider will win again. So it's 3 up still for the Candyman, and another attempt at a 3v3 retake here. No Viper's Pit this time, but still Cafe Juan Valdez's lineups to contend with, as well as the 2 players on site. We'll see if they can manage this. They probably don't know. They haven't gotten close enough to defusing yet to know that Juan Valdez is holding with the lineups, but the first pick is good on the Yellow the Flower. The second pick is also good. I think they're starting to realize just now that the snake bites are going to be an issue they have to contend with. Apollo is tapping the spike. Unfortunately, cannot stick it as the second snake bite will come through. Time is getting so low, they have to just choose to stick it. Apollo goes down. Time, I think, is already out. The lineups come through. The clutch comes through as Juan Valdez will get the 1v3. It is 12-0, a perfect half for the Sod God.
Match point.
A great round by Cafe Juan Valdez. They're in the 1-on-3, able to convert and keep that dream of the perfect game up. 12-0. 1 round left. Four players on Sod Gods in double-digit kills. Just a masterclass of a half.
Candymen started pulling it together there near the end. Had several. The last 2 rounds were pretty close. I think they had good chances at all of those. Unfortunately, none of them fell their way. The lineups there at the end, they could never quite deal with. And time ticks away from them as they'll go into their attack half. Obviously, a massive mountain to climb. Hoping to salvage any rounds they can get, though, as they'll start on the pistol, and they're going to start towards A. Solgi and Dreamer here to contend with. So they have identified the weakest performing player so far for the Sod Gods. If they can isolate Dreamer, who actually finds the first weakest performing, who cares, does find one, eventually will get traded out. But meanwhile, Site Defenders have found 2, make that 3. Solgi gonna attempt to continue the fight against Mahdi, but does go down. Mahdi now left in the 1v3. Mahdi has gone down. And just like that, it is a 13-0, a flawless map from the Sod Gods, as they will go up 1-0 in this series.
Yeah, that map was never in doubt. There was only 1 round really where Candymen were even close to getting a defuse, and they had to deal with Juan Valdez's lineups, who they hadn't seen all game, and broke them out just in the nick of time.
An unfortunate result for the Candymen. They'll hope to turn this around for map 2 in any sort of way, perhaps. At least getting some rounds on the board, I'm sure, would be a goal. If not to win, of course. New map, new start. They will be going to Ascent. New chance to make an impact and perhaps take a win, as they have struggled to do for quite a while. For now, though, that will send us to a quick break. We will come back after that very quick haven to bring you Ascent. Don't go anywhere.
You told me I'm your anchor, I told you you're my pole. Through the wind and fire we try to hold on. We build this ship together, searching for a home. Despite the storm that hit us, we're still on board. Dancing in the moonlight, the world just stopped and stares. We got no destination, I'll take you anywhere. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed. Words just come together, story that we never told. So far shaking for my own. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. For our failures we our ball. Through the wind and fire, we tried, hold on. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed. Words that come together, a story that we never told. So for your sake and for my own, you said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. From our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. Be your captain. I'll always be your captain.
And welcome back. After that quick 13-0 on Haven, we're going straight in here. We're going to be going into map 2 of Ascent between the Sod Gods and the Candymen. Sod Gods, of course, took map 1 as they look to dominate this Candymen team that's at the bottom of the leaderboard. Nadesy, what do you think the Candymen are looking for here to try to get a foothold in map 2?
To put it bluntly, around. If they can get one, hopefully they're able to realize that it can be done and build some momentum and kind of get a couple more and hopefully a map win.
Map win, something I'm sure they've missed. It's been, I don't actually know how long it's been. I know they started 2-0 as we are getting into Agent Select for Ascent, but it's definitely been a minute since they have taken a map, unfortunately. As I'm just going through real quick, trying to see when their other map win came through. Oh, they took Haven against Rock'em Sock'em in match day 10, so a couple weeks ago.
Actually, that's a pretty recent. So we're on 13. Not bad.
I think been right about 2 weeks because of our rescheduling match day shenanigans that we got due to the internet outage last Friday that was going on in Canada. But nevertheless, we'll be getting into map 2 here as they look to get their 4th win of the season and try to play a little bit of spoilers from the Sod Gods. We do see Solgi going with her Reyna as always. Cafe Juan Valdez looks like he's still going to go with the Viper. So Viper on the 2 most unusual Viper maps so far. As the Candymen lock in their composition, we're going to see double Initiator, a Killjoy, and Brimstone. And it looks like Sellout wants to go for the Neon. We'll see if that ends up being the selection.
Yeah, Candyman with a fairly traditional comp. Sod Gods is a little out there, kind of as it was on Haven, but in Juan Valdez's position, if you're going to bring a Viper into a non-Viper meta map, you better damn well know your lineups and on every piece of utility, and in the last map definitely showed he knows his stuff.
For sure. I do apologize. If you hear any keyboard clacking going on at any point and I stop talking for a moment, I am attempting to see if we can organize some bonus coverage for you guys. Unexpected bonus coverage, mayhaps, but bonus coverage nonetheless, but only after this map is done. This is only a 2-game set. This is not a full best of 3, so no matter what, this is our last map, even if Candymen can salvage their win here, or the series split, as it were. That was a quick first map, a 13-0 for the Sod Gods, who start on the favored defensive side of Ascent here. So we'll see if the Candymen, what they can do to break through this defense, break the Sod Gods at all, see if they can get anything on the board. They do have the Neon from Salad, a bit of an unusual pick on Ascent, but a lot of unusual picks in this matchup. I mean, you could see some exciting things. I always like seeing a Neon. I always like to see what they can pull off. Well, you were talking about lineups. There's the first, and that's a little gross.
Yeah, nice little one-way. Second steps get heard. Sage's gonna throw this wall barrier orb and make it pretty tough to get through. Solgi and Chamber already taking a ton of space in mid.
Yeah, I really like this. This is really smart by the Sod Gods. Yeah, they're not going to even fall off of it. This is really smart. Playing through mid when you know the enemy team is hard, committed to B lobby. This makes it super frustrating and super difficult as Milos goes down first. Milos goes down and finds the second. Apologies, he didn't die. He killed someone and he kills 2. Candymen are going to continue rotating towards A, but now 2 players lighter, as they're going to walk into Dreamer here. Had a bit of a rough first map. Can't find anything on a dead shot in the Sovage pool, but will throw out the dart. And I think it's going to delay the Candyman a little bit, as Solgi is wrapping around. We're actually going to see a Lurk versus Lurk here, and Lad's actually going to win that pool. So 1 pick going the way of the Candyman, but headshot now very low. Dreamer finds Spider, manages to just get away with their life. Sellout also managing to just get away with their life. Everyone here low. It's Deadshot just gonna dead straight shoot a shock dart across the map at Yellow the Flower and will actually take her down. It's on to Dreamer here to prevent the sniper from winning into sight with 1 seconds left. Deadshot got the kill. Didn't even have time, but goes down to Milos nonetheless. It's the first round, first pistol for the Sod Gods.
Yeah, Milos opening that round with 2 crisp 1-taps in mid, and then Candyman definitely put up a very strong fight, trying to win that round, but 2 players too low on the side take, and they fell pretty quickly. Looking like Sellout's going to be on a little bit of a lurk here where the rest of the team kind of stacks towards A, and they're going to fight Raid Boss Solgi. Gets the first, falls back, and healing up. Gets a second. Very nice openers. Sellout's lurk pays some dividends, taking down Cafe Juan Valdez, and the rest of the team's going to try and recover Spike. Sellout's position noted now by the trademark in mid. Not a terrible round so far. Yellow the Fire cleans that up. Solgi gets her third. Spike is down, and Dreamer able to take down Deadshot a little bit. Sova on Sova violence, and that's a very clean bonus round or eco round.
Second round
for Sod.
Yeah.
Bonus round coming now. So, like they could.
Yes, this.
Milos could get an operator if he wanted to, but
might put that off for a round, perhaps.
Yeah. I think he bought the Marshall's round. I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, looking probably next round then.
We will see what Solgi here can get done, as she looks like she wants to aggress forward into a main. Maybe not, but she is playing a pretty off angle, just a very off angle, as you can kind of get away with on Arena, especially when you hit the first shot and get the first kill. You're gonna heal up. She throws out the leer, doesn't get punished for it as Dreamer covers her back. That's 2 down for the Candymen now as they're trying to get into the site. Solgi actually takes a lot of damage from that shock dart, though, and Madi will find both defenders that were already on the site, but rotating in already. It's Milos and Yellow the Flower. Cafe Juan Valdez not far behind. They still can't get out now because of the slow orbs. They're gonna start to reconsider, start to rotate away. Milos hears every single one of these footsteps, though. Still should be superior weapons for the Candymen as you're gonna swing out. 1-shot, 2-shot on the dead shot. I think that one went wide, though. As Milos finds one. Madi, meanwhile, has gotten picked off by Cafe Juan Valdez on the A site. So it leaves it all onto Apollo as the team captain, the GM of playing for Candy, looks to try to pull together a 1v3 clutch as he presses slowly towards B.
Footsteps should be heard, and now Milos is going to be on a hot flank. Cafe Juan Valdez making his way over from the A side. Should be a very easy round for Sod Gods here.
You would think, but you still have to get that final kill, still have to get that defuse, and the first kill does go to Apollo, but Milos gets enough of an angle to get the wall bang. They're going to collect the rifles here, I would think, and they are going to take this round. They're going up 3-0. As the Candymen miss out on an opportunity, probably one of their better opportunities to get around early in this map.
Yeah, lost 2 early, and then Madi was able to make 2 quick trades, and then kind of got less stranded wine, and Juan Valdez was able to make that read and get the kill on the lurk, while the rest of the team was rotating through mid and put Apollo into a 1-on-3 that was just too much to ask for.
Interestingly, we see Milos on this chamber right now. And other than actually Madi, who's only played 2 maps, Milos is the highest headshot percentage in Contender. Well, there you go, as I speak of it. Doesn't even want to opt for the operator, it looks like, even while playing the chamber. Madi is repping a 31% headshot percentage coming into this series, but Milos with a 25%, and by far, well, by a decent bit, the highest of anyone who's played a lot of games. As I think we saw a spot through that one way, but nobody went down. Sylvie wants to go up on the flank here. Her first contest will be Madi, and Madi will go down. There's 2 now holding her angle. Lear comes out. Meanwhile, Sellout has popped overdrive, but can't find anything with it. It's going to be the last 3 all dropping at once. They were surrounded and outgunned, outmanned. Sod Gods will take their 4th in a flawless fashion, as this is something like their 4th flawless on these 2 maps as they continue to roll. But it will be rifles in the hand of the Candymen. Cans.
No charges left.
Yeah, just a very solid round. Sohi with the early mid lurk, 20 seconds into the round, and they already had the entire map cut in half. They knew exactly what was coming, and then the crunch came in, and another flawless round. Come on, Juan Valdez. Struggling with this spot right now, and 4th time's not the charm. Gonna give it up. Milos and Solgi getting the 2 openers, and that's a rifle round neutralized very early. The remaining 3 players towards B main here.
Solgi's position is noted, but they are kind of just trapped in B main now, are the Candymen, as they're going to have to try to find a way out. They're dealing with, I don't think, a one-way. Looks like Cafe Juan Valdez just threw it on the ground. But they're dealing with 2 players in front, 1 player behind, 2 players also going to be in market very quickly. I don't even think the ball is fully broken. It's not. It is about to go down, though, as the first player is pushing boldly in.
Down B.
And Strider Spider will go down. There will be a trade, but it's still a 2v4, and each trade makes this less and less likely. Madi, though, with a nice shot, takes off Sophie's head. Headshot as well will take down Cafe Juan Valdez. It's only a 2v2, now makes that a 1v2, but Madi still with a chance in this one. Top flashes himself a bit.
30 seconds left.
Actually has the null command online. Could nullify Milos's unboarded force, but we'll just swing it instead. The first shot does go wide, but the re-swing from Milos is good enough. They'll make it 5 on the board for the Sod Gods, as once again the Candymen can't convert an opportunity.
Yeah, it was a decent attempt from Candyman there. It's considering they lost 2 players early into the round, brought it back into a 2-on-2, and then Spike was lost down Speedway, and the round was lost at that point, putting, yeah, like I mentioned, Madi into a pretty much unwinnable 1-on-2. Five still going to be coming in here for the Candymen, so they do have a decent shot.
They do come in though. Solgi finds 2. Solgi finds 3 with the Phantom. 2 more in front of her. We'll see if she chases these kills. It does look like she wants to. Meanwhile, they're going to be hemmed in a little bit by Cafe Juan Valdez. Solgi did actually take some substantial damage. I'm not sure from what. I thought she was at full health, but either way, down to 43 hit points. Will get healed by Yellow the Flower as she starts to make her way towards the flank. These last 2 players are pinned here, and Strider Spider's location is noticed. Dreamer will take them down. Will go down themselves, though, as Monty does find 2. Has to pull off the 1v5 here to clutch out the round. Solgi next challenger does go down. Yellow the Flower in front. Monty finds her. That's sight. Potentially, and a potential plant situation, but can't hold every angle, can't clear every angle. Yellow the Flower will make sure nothing gets too out of hand. It'll be the 6th and the 19th in a row in this series for the Sod Gods.
Lonnie making a very decent effort in the 1-on-5, but not really doing much damage. I mean, Econ is flawless on Sod Gods. Milo's falling for the first time that round, trying to pull his best Yellow the Flower impression.
And one thing playing for Candy, the Candymen have definitely been falling prey to. It's something I see a lot of teams fall prey to on Ascent, especially in my ranked games. They're just hard committing to A main or B main, and then Sod God, full respect to them, are taking full advantage of that fact. You can see right now on the other side of the map, on the mini map, Cafe Juan Valdez is taking full control of B lobby. So the Sod Gods are just fully aware this is 5 players A right now. There's nobody in mid. The operator is holding mid. There's nobody in B main. Know exactly where the Candymen are. Now it's just a matter of if the Candymen can get out through one of the narrowest gaps in Valorant. Now they do have the lockdown to work with, so that could help. Unfortunately, there's a Sova on the other team. That will come through. Sellout, though, is just charging straight in. Cafe Juan Valdez just found 3 on the flank, though. There are 2 trades, so it's a 2v3 now. But that timing of the flank was insane, and Sellout Madi are a bit separated from each other, though Solgi kind of gets into a sandwich. Will work her way out of it, and we'll find Madi. Leaves it all into Sellout, who has to find the last 3 to get the round. Can't even find the first. Solgi finds her 2nd of the round, and that huge flank from Cafe Juan Valdez came in very quickly. Took 3 down in a second.
It was very fast. Yeah, like you mentioned, Candyman. Mid does not exist to them. It's go through B main, go through A lobby. That's it. That is all they're trying to do, and Sod Gods are taking full advantage, getting every piece of map control their heart desires.
Unfortunate bit of play so far from the Candymen is they are starting to explore mid a little bit this round, and Sellout's going to make his way that direction. Meanwhile, Solgi, though, just walks up, finds Mod D. Milos will find Sellout with the operator. That Viper Molly is found too. It's just going to line up the last couple. Solgi gets 1. Juan Valdez gets 2. That'll just clean up another quick round for the Sod Gods, who are starting to play with some pace, even on the defensive side. Solgi on 14 kills. Milos 10 and 1 has only gone down this singular time. Some highlights from this match as the Candymen still continue to struggle to put their first on the board.
Yeah, Sellout, the first person on Candyman to try and make an attempt at getting some mid control, but Arches was not smoked off, and Milo's holding it with the operator. That's easy pickings right there. Another free shot, top mid.
Yeah, the op rings out and a body hits the floor. Solgi's Phantom rings out and a body hits the floor. This duo of Milos and Solgi have just been completely dominating any attempts of pushes by the Candymen. They are going to go towards speed. Cafe Juan Valdez, the only one here to defend this, is powerless. No command has come through, but might have the shots. Doesn't actually get Strider Spider very low, but they end up not dropping. so they will go down to the operator. Madi, in the meantime, has the spike and is run into market. That's going to leave things in an unfortunate situation. As Apollo has to try to play 1v3, can't even make his way up the stairs in time. The last trade comes in. It's 9-0 for the Sod Gods as the Candymen almost broke open sight there, but Madi, perhaps not realizing he had the spike, ends up losing it in a terrible position. Spike can't even go down. And it's a nice little cleanup from the Sod Gods who continue to roll.
Yeah, definitely must have been a lack of communication or unknowingly picked up the bomb because Madi losing the round right there with that bomb getting dropped in market. Apollo trying to do a 1-on-3, but that was too much to ask.
Finished.
Two
However,
early picks.
Yeah, we've got 2 early picks for the Candymen here in this round. Milo's still alive, but Solgi pretty crucially is down. So a good chance here for the Candymen. It's going to have to take some of the other members of the Sod Gods to step up to make an impact in this round and sell out. Might actually be able to find Milos, and well, Milos just stepped out of the range of the rendezvous. Apollo also finds Yellow the Flower. It's all in a Dreamer who's just going to go down. It's actually a flawless round out of the Candymen, and they'll finally get their first of the map and the series.
That was not the round I would have expected them to win. I believe 1 Sheriff was brought in the round and 2 Spectres, but I think Sod Gods getting maybe a little too overconfident for the first time. Kind of just giving 2 free 1-on-1s that were untradeable. They were able to roll off the back of it.
And they've got the operator in the hands of Deadshot. My mind went to Headshot, I think. And they're going to start pushing up through B main. I think the lockdown, yeah, the lockdown is online, and Dreamer will drop first. Remember to clear this close right position. They're actually just going to run straight past it. Sellout does actually turn around and find Milo, so that's 2 down on the Sod Gods, and the Candymen are be able to get spiked down. They might get a second here, as they just need to hold the 5v3 retake. Sellout even pushing up into heaven, finds Solgi. That's a huge pick potentially. The resurrection is online. We'll see if they can get Solgi back on her feet. So that would be the most likely target. That's an aggressive Viper did. Solgi is back up.
1 enemy remaining.
Still, the flower is down, and so is Juan Valdez. It's all on to Solgi 1v5. She does find the first and starts to make her way back toward tight. The op shot goes wide. She has 4 to find here and can't even find the first. Apollo will tough it out on what looks like 1 hit point. Takes down Solgi, and that's the second in a row. Second on the board for the Candymen. They've actually got something brewing here and might be working their way towards a 9-3 half potentially.
Yeah, lock in that curse, and we could see maybe a 1-1 split off the back of it. Yeah, Milos had a very nice position sellout at the last second. It looked like things to clear it because Milos was about to do a ton of damage there. Milos trying to play some trigger discipline and unfortunately didn't work out.
We've got a fast play coming in, but Sellout will get cut down by Milos with a nice headshot, showing that headshot percentage off once again. As now the rest of the Candymen, the tip of the spear down, are kind of bottled up in A main. See if Madi peeks into this port of force and will. That's going to scare off the rest of the attack as they've got to turn tail and run.
And running right to Juan Valdez, who takes 1. And
He's already on this flank again. Solgi will find Deadshot even with the operator. Apollo now in the 1v5, and this is almost undoubtedly impossible. We'll find 1. Almost gets hit in the second. Almost finds the second, but Dreamer is there to take the swing. Candymen do get 2 this time in their path, and with a defensive-sided map and a pretty defensive composition, there's a chance here, but it's going to be a huge uphill battle and a must-win pistol here.
Yeah,
to get things going.
Sod God's able to dodge that 9-3 curse, so yeah, it'll be very tough for Candyman to get that this half here, or this map. Especially with Go ahead.
Never out of it though in Valorant until there's at least 13 on the board. They can win this pistol, they can start to get something going for themselves. It'll still be so many rounds they have to put together, but a Synth attack side can be a tricky thing to figure out sometimes. We'll see how their defense plays. So again, I'm interested to see how this Viper plays on the attack side as well. Harder to throw out one ways.
There.
As we already see the Sod Gods doing something that Candymen themselves didn't attempt very often, and that is going for the mid controls. Strider Spider here stuck in a truly terrible position will go down, as will Sellout, who tried to peek from Catwalk. That's already 2 picks for the Sod Gods. They're going to start rolling towards the B site. It's going to be Deadshot and Ma-D, both who have had some decent performances so far in this map, but Dreamer takes down Ma-D. It's going to be a 1-for-1 for Deadshot. Apollo, for what feels like the 5th or 6th time this map, left in a 1vx. Won't even get the first, as Milos will take him down. That pistol does not go the way of the Candymen, and we are quickly on our way to closing this map out, it looks like.
Yeah, Sod God's just showing why mid control is pretty important in this attacking half. Going for it right away, and pretty easy pistol round off the back of it, only dropping 1 player. And now they're going.
Yeah, there's a Hero Spectre up for Sellout, and actually a bit of the, I think the FPX buy is what I've heard people calling it out of the Sod Gods, is I think only 3 people really bought. They will leave the other 2 to buy rifles for next round, potentially. Sellout here, pushing up, I think worried about a tripwire. Yeah, there is a chamber trap right there. We'll shoot the trademark. Milos now knows he's playing, but in the meantime, the rest of his team has just gotten onto the A site. Nobody's gone down yet, but Spike should be.
Yeah, looked like a pretty nice lineup for the orb on top of Dice, and made it really hard for anyone on top of Heaven to see Sal could be making this push.
And actually some interesting value from the Viper, as you can pick that orb back up and throw it into Heaven to slow the retake. Speaking of the retake, the first is already dropped, the second has now dropped. Milos is going to get shot in the back by Sellout, but Sellout with an uphill battle ahead, as do the rest of the Candymen, as there's still 4 alive for the Sod Gods. As they start to work their way back into the site, Juan Valdez will find Ma-D, Solgi will find Deadshot. Sellout, though, just runs over Yellow the Flower, has to go for the reload at some point, and goes for it now. Solgi will swing, she'll take him out. It's 12 on the board for the Sod Gods, and they're going to go into a quick match point here, as the Candymen, with rifles in hand, for the most part, are going to have to find something here if they want to keep this map and this match alive.
Yeah, and like you called it, the FPX buy, money on Sod Gods is good enough where they can get rifles across the board. Still going to be the only one really unable to afford, unless he gets dropped by a teammate. Yeah, it should be just an absolute battle for both teams here.
Fully smoked.
Like Strider Spider still in 1300 and buying the Spectre. Could have gotten a rifle himself. A little bit of an interesting decision there.
They've left Milos in control of mid. Sellout has taken control of B lobby, so they can't even know that the hit isn't coming towards B yet. But Sellout might go down to this double stack now. Does actually find one, does Apollo, and Dreamer will trade. Sellout, oh, finds a free look, but actually can't win that. Gets lots of damage through.
You know, lots of damage. It can be recoverable. Sage's heal online. It looks like not the case, as Sage and Viper are running together. And Yellow's not going to do it. Yep, 30 seconds on that heal. 1-man advantage for Candyman, and Dreamer's going to lurk out into A site.
Yeah, it does go down 8 HP now also, though, on Strider Spiders. There's now 2 low players on the map. Unfortunately, the Sage for the Candyman is down, while the Sage for the Sod Gods should be getting healed back online very shortly. Solgi's lurked up. Solgi's found the first. Can she find Ma-D as well? Actually loses that duel, but Juan Valdez will force Deadshot, rather, out of the corner. Again, some use from this unorthodox Viper so far. Some interesting stuff coming in on this attack side. Might even be able to pick up the rifle. Actually just going to choose to lurk with the Stinger. Never did get healed. So this should be a duel that goes the way of Ma-D, and it will. So it's all on to Yellow the Flower to 1v1 onto Ma-D to try to keep this map alive in the 1v2. Now 1v1, of course. Has full utility to work with. Flashes the corner. Full blinds Yell the Flower. Location now noted. She's falling backwards. It's just going to be the straight aim duel, and Madi will win it. The defuse should come through here. Sod Gods cannot convert the bonus. They take down 4, but the Candymen crucially survive the round, and they will get 3 on the board and keep themselves alive.
Yeah, some crucial utility not used by Elbow Fire there. Heal on to Cafe One Valdez and having the wall that could have used for CT or double reinforced market. And that was the difference right there. Even in the clutch still had the wall and didn't throw it up. Now looks like they're going to be on a little bit of an eco bias, so some momentum could be brewing behind Candymen's attempts to bring this map back.
I do think most of these players could buy at least with light armor. Maybe just being overly cautious. You have a massive lead if you're the Sod Gods. No need to force if you don't really have to, as they will just make sure the eco is nice and strong for the next round. Meanwhile, Sellout once again lurking up, and the Ares rings through, gets pretty good damage. I think, yeah, Sulgi very low will get healed up by Yellow the Flower, but only to about half. Heal might have come through a little early for those who don't. Oh, Sellout's actually been spotted in mid, and Sellout's gone down. And oh my goodness, what a shot by Cafe Juan Valdez. The Sod Gods here now working with quite a bit with a 2 numbers advantage, make that a 1 number advantage, but they make the quick pivot as they realize all players on the B side of the map are going to start rotating towards A. Milos, meanwhile, has pulled out the Tour de Force that came online and kind of has Strider Spider just pinned in a corner. They're going to have to find a way to get out of there because the spike is going down on B, as is the Viper's Pit. Things are looking difficult. Oh, that Viper's Pit is just to buy time. Juan Valdez has the lineups. Let's see if the Sod Gods have the thought here, as Milos did go down in mid, so it's a 3v3. And they're just going to pop the null command straight off rip. Their time is a little low. They're going to have to break the wall in heaven as well as the door, I believe. They have some time here, and they do find the first on a Yellow the Flower. They still have to find one more onto Dreamer, and they will. The lineups are starting to come through as Juan Valdez is out of range, but I don't think those are going to buy full time necessarily. Juan Valdez will eventually have to face with the gun. Deadshot's actually going to get this. Oh, actually gets. Oh, Madi found Juan Valdez, and Deadshot manages to time the defuse very well. So the Candymen survive again. I really thought Deadshot was going down to that lineup. It was just going to stick it for half, but knew the timing better than I did. Survives on about 10 HP, I believe. And Madi ends up finding Juan Valdez as well. So the round goes through. Maybe they only get 12 as the Candymen start to look for a comeback. However, that was a bit of a save out of the Sod Gods. So we'll see what they can do with full rifles.
Yeah, Juan Valdez unfortunately throwing snake bites out a little too early. And yeah, timing, able to get the defuse 4th on the board. Candyman starting to build something up here. A couple of Ares is defending this B side is kind of where Saga looked like they want to make a move to.
Yeah, Sellout went looking but couldn't find anything but a bullet to the head. That will prompt orbital strike as well to buy time, but unfortunately multiple players already passed it. Juan Valdez though is tagged, could get spammed down. Attempt comes through, but Sovanerf's kind of hurting there. Deadshot going to be alone to defend the site. Might actually be able to find one and cannot. Milos in the meantime has also found Apollo in mid. Sulgi goes down. It's going to be on to Madi in the 1v5 to attempt to clutch up and keep the map alive once again. First will have to be on Milos. But Milos, after a bit of a miss, finds the headshot. The attackers win, the Sod Gods win. It ends up being a little closer. The Candymen get 4 this time, but a convincing 2-0 as the Sod Gods look to keep their playoff spot and keep their playoff seed.
Yeah, that should be a lock-in for the Sod Gods now. I guess it probably depends on other match results, but with only 1 match day left, should be all but confirmed.
I think it might be pending a result in a tiebreaker that I don't know their tiebreaker with anti-tilts team positive off the top of my head, but very likely, yeah, that might lock them into playoffs. Candymen, of course, many of the playing for Candy teams well, all now because their contender team is the last team still playing. Looking ahead to next season, Apollo already starting to do work, running combines of his own to try to find players to draft for his teams, trying to be more competitive next season. A lot of respect to see them still coming out and playing. I'm sure they're having fun with it, even if the matches aren't necessarily going in their favor. A good effort. They had some good rounds, especially on that defensive side. Some rounds I didn't think they would necessarily win. Madi had, I think, a nice 1v2 clutch as well to keep them alive. Some things to build off of for sure. We are, however, going to cut to break really quickly, and I mean a break because we have found bonus coverage. We have found a premier match that is starting soon in about 10 minutes. It'll probably start later than that. They never start on time. But we will be bringing you Royal Flush, the top team in Premier, looking to get revenge against the Bionics, the Automata's team that upset them many weeks ago on stream, I believe. I don't know if it was both of these teams. I might be misremembering things, but either way, we're going to be back fairly shortly to bring you that match as we're going to start getting that together as bonus coverage tonight in the VDC. Don't go anywhere.
You told me I'm your anchor, I told you you're my bow. Through the wind and fire we try to hold on. We build this ship together, searching for a home. Despite the storm that hit us, we're still on board. Dancing in the moonlight, the world just stopped and stares. We got no destination, I'll take you anywhere. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed. Words just come together, story that we never told. So far you're shaking for my own. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, oh, I'll always be your captain. From our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, oh, I'll always be your captain. I'll be your captain. I'll always be your captain. I'll always be your captain. You told me I'm your anchor, I told you you're my bow. Through the wind and fire we tried to hold on. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed. Words that come together, a story that we never told. So far you're shaking for my own. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, oh, I'll always be your captain. From our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, oh, I'll always be your captain. Be your captain. I'll always be your captain. The train's passing by our bedroom window. It feels like the writing's on the wall. You try your best to reassure me, but lately I don't believe you at all. It takes time to build up some kind of mountain. It takes strength just to sit and watch it fall. We can hope that it all wasn't for nothing, but for now I will just wait out in the hall. If I can't change your mind, then I wanna change for you every single night. Pick my clothes, run my life, 'cause I wanna change for you every single night. It's better than saying goodbye. It's better than saying goodbye. I know that this all sounds self-destructive, but I'll be the first to make it work. Use your hands and control me like a puppet, because losing your love right now is worse. We can hope that it all wasn't for nothing, but for now I will just wait out in the hall. If I can't change your mind, then I wanna change for you every single night. Pick my clothes, run my life, 'cause I wanna change for you every single night. It's better than saying goodbye. I wanna change for you. It's better than saying goodbye. It's better than saying goodbye. I'll change for you. It's better than saying goodbye.
My girl, can't take my eye off you. Can't take my eye off you. Dim girl, don't got nothing on you. Don't got nothing on you. My heart is ready for something I have been had in a long time. True love crime. I hope you know that it may hurt for a while. Let's slow down, slow down. I can see behind that broken smile. Nice, sweet, smooth, like cocoa bread, cocoa bread. You're nice, sweet, smooth, like cocoa bread, cocoa bread. You're nice, like cocoa. You're nice, like cocoa bread, like cocoa bread. Oh, you're nice, like cocoa. You're nice. Like cocoa bread, like cocoa bread. Ooh, driving date, watch a movie. Right by your side on duty, not too much or too sweet. Ooh, passion from yours truly. Let me know how you feel. Hope I'm not in too deep. Biwa, Phoebe, we die forever. Won't be alone forever. Get through the storm together. Girl, make some room. I know you still. You're nice, sweet, smooth, like cocoa bread, cocoa bread. You're nice, sweet, smooth, like cocoa bread, cocoa bread. You're nice, like cocoa. You're nice, like cocoa bread, like cocoa bread. You're nice, like cocoa. You're nice, like cocoa bread, like cocoa bread. Boy can't take the eye off you. Them girl can't take the eye off you. My yeah, in my mind, oh you. My can't take my mind off you, baby. Oh come be my lady. Oh give me a baby. Got me talking crazy. You're nice, sweet, smooth, like cocoa bread.
Hello and welcome back. We are back. We are bringing you ATO's Bionics versus the Lucky Sevens Royal Flush. I am still Chill the Rose, and I'm still joined by Nadesy. Nadesy, you were the one who brought my attention to this match because this is the franchise you played for, Lucky Sevens. Are you looking forward to this?
I am always looking forward to seeing my team on stream. L7's premiere should be, or Royal Flush should be locked into the #1 seed with a nice one map win over the next 4. So looking to capitalize on it tonight.
For sure, but they are facing a surging team in the Bionics. The Bionics were some time ago, I believe, we put them on stream against Vaporwave, who was then the top team in Premier. And their record, the Bionics, was something like 4-11, I believe. Since they have, well, won basically everything. 4-11 can't possibly be correct, but it was atrocious. They were dead last in the league at the time. They are now 11-13, and with this match, fighting for their playoff lives. They have still an outside shot of making into that last playoff spot. They are 2 games behind Team Ego of Anti-Tilt, who I'm not sure if their actual match result for this match day has been submitted. It has not. They are playing Vaporwave. But Bionics with an outside shot at playoffs after that atrocious start, and they have been red hot recently. They've been splitting or winning pretty much every series for the past 4 or 5 match days. They have really become a force in this league. And the first map getting played is the map we saw them on a while ago. We are going to Icebox, which we saw them on last time we streamed them, and they were quite dominant on. We are experiencing a bit of a bug with our observer. So we're taking a minute to get into Agent Select, I believe.
Yeah, Bionics have been on an absolute tear recently. It looks like from their last 8, they've only dropped 1 map. And last time they played Royal Flush, they took a 1-1 split with like losing 13-3 and winning 13-11. So, probably a series that could have gone 2-0 in favor of Lucky Sevens, but they're still able to get the map, and that's all that matters in the end. Doesn't matter the round differential. So, it should be a very tough test because they are surging lately. And Royal Flush need to bring their A game if they want to lock in that playoff berth.
All right, we are fixed. So there we are into Agent Select. We already see the first picks locked in. Kuno is a sub tonight for the Bionics, so we'll have to see what they can do with the flex player. Kenny 9004 will not be on the team tonight. Instead, they will substitute in Kuno, who thankfully both players listed as flex, so maybe things worked out a little in that regard. Since we already see most of their composition locked in. Looks pretty standard to me. What are you thinking about these comps?
Yeah, Royal Flush, that's what they've run the last however many times they've played this. They played in a little tournament over the weekend, ran the exact same comp. Won 13-1 on Icebox, so it's pretty good by them. And Bionics, yeah. I mean, both teams running fairly standard Icebox comps.
Now, if I'm not misremembering, the last time we saw Bionics on Icebox, I believe they ran a Killjoy. And yeah, they did. Famuzera is actually the missing player tonight, I think. Or no, I think Famuzera is playing the KO here. So it looks like they've actually made a slight adjustment to their composition. Everything else is the same. Kiro on Chamber, Tadros on Viper, and the Rain Cloud on the Sova. And sort of a similar comp out of Royal Flush. Biggest difference is KO versus Jet. The only difference is KO versus Jet. So I tend to personally, especially when there's Chambers involved, favor the KO in this matchup. Mostly because of the KO or the Chamber being involved. It's always nice to be able to knock down a tour de force that's posted on an angle or just prevent the rendezvous out. But we'll see if that Jet can find some value, perhaps some double operator shenanigans on defense for Royal Flush, or just more aggression on their offensive side. We'll see if they can make that work for them.
Yeah, I think with bringing in this Jet, John's been playing Jet pretty much the entirety of the season with a little bit of Raze sprinkled in there. Number 6 rated player in all of Premier, so it's not someone he's uncomfortable with, and I think it's solid enough to get away from utility if need be.
Especially really top 5 if you don't count the single player right above him who's only played 4 matches, but for 4 maps. We've got the quick aggression on towards a site. They do have, I don't actually know whose poison orb that was to contend with, but they're actually going to grab the orb. Rare defensive A orb grabbed by Royal Flush. We'll give it to Crazy M. They want to farm the res, why wouldn't you? And there are 4 Bionics defenders here as they have a full read into this. Might start to get a sniff and start leaning away, but it doesn't look like they're even thinking about it. But Gyrox will find Kuno for the first pick. The Rain Cloud, though, does get one. Famzera also finds one. Crazy M very low does go down. Shababs, though, has worked up into Nest. Could be looking to find some, but goes down to the Rain Cloud. It's all on the Fox, who does find the first. 1v2 now. Should slow down from Kiro and Tadros as they try to get into a semblance of a crossfire. Kind of difficult, actually, at the angles they're working at. Tadros will caught out Fox, who actually, yeah, did get vulnerable. Shoots off the recon dart, double swings into the double hold. Tadros will end up taking the frag. The first round goes the way of the Bionics as they go up 1-0 on Icebox.
Yeah, like mentioned, Bionics had the read, and they were on 4 stacked onto A site, still losing the early man, and they were able to have a very solid hold. Royal Flush pretty much falling one after the other. Shabab's bringing one back, and Fox bringing one back as well, but putting the 1-on-2 is pretty much undoable.
Out of charges.
No spike plan either, so they're going to go into that full eco.
Will unfortunately be for them. That full eco should be around on the board for the Bionics. Of course, as soon as I speak, that they should be trembling in their boots, because every time I've said that, it seems like every time I say someone should win a round, they've ended up managing to lose it. Well, Gyrox here is one of those things that could be a threat, though Crazy M will go down. And Famzera also takes down Fox. So threat, even if Gyrox's Headhunter can do some magic here, that task is becoming more and more difficult. It'll become even more difficult as he himself will be found. It's a quick, flawless team ace out of the Bionics. Everybody chipping in. As a little bit of forward aggression and just superior weaponry will take them through to their second round.
Yeah, very clean round. Like you mentioned, flawless team ace. Economy starting to build up pretty quickly on Bionics. They could bring an op into this round if they do elect to have enough. If Kiro sells one of his Headhunter bullets. Looks like not going to do it.
Does seem that Kiro will wait until next round, probably going to pull out the operator early. Why wouldn't you? As we actually see a mid-B split here. Unorthodox play. They are going to make use of the Sky Smoke to smoke off Kiro Criminal. Was a threat here, but it does fade pretty quickly. Gyrox will get the trade, but that is Spike lost. And really awkward control of the map. Kuno, I think, pressed back to his own wall. Actually goes down to John Lal. Well cleared. Gyrox in this extremely awkward angle. We'll see who it's more awkward for, though. Him or the two defenders right above his head who don't seem to know he's there. John Lal swings into a snake bite and goes down. But Gyrox finds the rain cloud. I dodged the flash for sure and takes one down. Shababs will clean it up onto Tadros. It'll all be cleaned up, all good. 3 alive for Royal Flush. They will prevent the conversion of the bonus and get their first.
Kiro jumping right into that operator, like to not buy it last round, has it now, and that could be a pretty big difference maker with the economy a little bit in the shatters for L7, even with 3 alive. It's gonna carry over 2 pistols with the back of 3 rifles.
Oh wow, yeah, that is a little surprising that they don't try to get Spectres or something online. I guess
Right here.
bright side is if they lose this round, they have a full buy for the next on board. And there is a bit of a trend in Valorant, that an analysis that was done a while ago that I would assume still holds true, which is that really on the attack side you only need 3, maybe 4 rifles to really have a successful round. Your win rate doesn't drop really much at all with just 3, though Kiro finding Gyrox will drop their expected win rate a fair bit, as the other 4 are all grouped up outside A, trying to break through that first barrier. Yeah, you can of course trade off rifles. If a teammate goes down, the rifle can usually be recovered, especially on the attack side, as long as they don't die too far forwards, or as long as the team is coordinated enough. So you don't necessarily need 5 all the time, you just need about 3 to make roughly the same impact. Impact they're going to have to look for in the rest of this round.
Starting to get some rotations off A-Site with some lurks. John and Crazy combined for 2, and that's A-Site lost.
30 seconds left.
It is, but with this lurk, it's a lone attacker trying to press up onto A, completely unknowing that it's empty, and Crazy M will have to run away as the rain cloud finds the lurk. They were well aware of the kitchen lurk and completely shut it down. Spike actually is probably going down here, especially with that wall going up. Crazy M will be able to plant, so a chance in this one, never mind. No chance. Hero jumps out with the operator. Nice little shot. The spike does go down. That'll get Royal Flush more money, and like we were saying, plenty of money to buy into this very next round here. But they're going to give the Rain Cloud the defusal, so that's another tool to work with for the Bionics. They have their Hunter's Fury online. For Royal Flush, it's just the 2 eco ults really, which I don't think they will necessarily pull out in this round between the Tour de Force and the Blade Storm, though something to have in the back pocket should they lose another one.
Yeah, they will have those 2 ultimates if they do need to go to a Thrifty in the next round. So it's not completely lost, and they do a strong buy going up against a little bit of a weak site in A. The current hold, just 2 people here, the rest of the team spread out. Another op hold in mid by Kiro Criminal. Same angle he held last round was rewarded with a free early kill on the Gyrox.
Yeah, and this is actually, if they catch a read, it looks like they have, that there is an A hit coming. This is really gonna, it's just completely severing any chance of rotation. This has allowed Bionics to get 3 over here. Fourth player, I think even starting to consider rotating. Will wait, probably going to start running now as the hit is coming forward. John Wall on top of 410. The wall as well has gone up. Hero has found Shabab. He was trying to get some lurk going, and Kuno has found John Wall on top of 410. Spike as well not going down. I'm not sure if that's where the wall was supposed to go, but that is where it has gone up. Now there's 2 players forward of it. Gyrox trying to get a peek off as well will go down. There's really not a lot to be done here unless Crazy M can start finding a few. Would have had the res, instead has no life. Neither does Fox. It's a clean sweep and a flawless for the Bionics. Their second of the match against full rifles there. Well played and well defended. Their A-site hold has been very strong so far.
Yeah, I mean, so far everything's been really strong for Bionics. Royal Flush really struggling to get their offensive momentum going here, especially on, I believe, their map pick. Really need to kind of get something going with this Thrifty here, even if it's not a round one, just a bunch of kills.
I actually don't know whose map pick it is. My instinct says Bionics based on how I was given the information, but I don't know for sure, and that's actually kind of big that they break that night, because the Tour de Force and the Blade Storm are not broken for 8 seconds, so they can continue to make some forward progress with those 2 ultimates alive.
Your Criminal lurked all the way into B main. That shrinks the map entirely. There's nowhere else to go unless you want to die pretty quickly.
They're actually just going to crush this Viper, and yeah, Shabab's no reason to really expect that Kiro's that far pushed. Hero will actually reposition slightly as well. Might get into a fight with Fox, but that Tour de Force rings out and finds Kuno on the site. And that's actually triggering a rotation. We'll see if anyone ends up staying towards the B side of the map as, oh, the rotation was to get the Resurrection online. Fortunately, still a lot of pistols, so perhaps an overeager investment. The Viper's pit is up, so perhaps that could come into play, but they're going to have to get clear onto site, and the first thing they're going to have to deal with is this operator, which is posted. Oh, Hero finds 2. That's insane with the collateral. There's now 3 alive. Yeah, Viper's hit is up, but they have to find a way to get Spike down here. Shabab's, though, opening up space, pushing us back into a 3v3. The Hunter's Fury doesn't come out to stop the plant either, so they're going to be retaking, including with an operator.
Teleport ready.
Against an operator, for the most part as well, though. And I do believe a Marshal, so not the best weapons to hold in this Viper's pit. Tour de Force, Marshal, and a classic, well, a Sheriff. What we're working with, and Fox will go down to Tadras. They start to loop their way around yellow. Time is slowly ticking, but there is still a lot of it left. Fabs will peek out, trying to get the shot onto the diffuser. Kiro finds his 4th, finds his 5th of the round. Not an ace, but a 5k nonetheless. Spike Diffusal does come through. It is the 5th on the board for the Bionics as they manage to hold against the investment of the ultimates of Royal Flush and the attempt at an eco conversion.
Yep, that works.
Solid round if they had a couple rounds behind it. I think it probably goes the other way, but burning 4 ultimates that round and unable to convert definitely has to sting a lot.
The Tour de Force and the Blade Storm, maybe not the most painful investments, as those are more eco ults in a sense in a lot of ways, a lot of the time, but definitely hurts to use the Resurrection and the Viper's Pit and only get a spike plant for it, not even taking down more than 3 enemies. Definitely, I think, a little over-eager to go for that play. Maybe could have saved those for this particular round and gone for it. Tadros, in the meantime, has gone up lurking close and has found Gyrox, but unfortunately at the wrong angle goes down, leaves Kiro the only defender of the B site. John Wall's actually found Kuno as well. Oh, Kiro, what a nice shot onto the attempt of a jump peek. Does look like Royal Flush, though, want to commit to B, and they want to commit fast. They still, again, have Kiro to contend with, hoping he can't find 2 this time. Even just 1 would be enough, could potentially be a lot in turning this round back in their favor. He will get droned off. He's gonna have to break that, and that allows 1 out to cross. Kiro barely lives. John Wall, in the meantime, has stayed back and found 1. Oh, but that wall is not good. That wall is very not good. Kiro's just able to walk up and stop the plant. Unfortunately, you can't wallbang that, the rain cloud, but you can just break it. Crazy M not fully paying attention. Now the spike's dropped once again. Hunter Fury could come through, it won't.
Spike planted.
A straight 1v2 now left in the balance. These angles both seem very difficult to deal with. Has very little expectation of where Johnwall might be lurking. This is a nasty angle. Both of these could potentially be very nasty angles. The Rain Cloud's going to have to start making his way forward eventually. Taps go wide for both. Recon Dart is back online. He's going to have to just shoot it and hope it finds somebody. Shabab's really playing with his food and does eventually go down, but again, that angle by John Lull gets him his 4th of the round. Huge stuff by him. Wow, look at that plant spot. I didn't realize that's where it went down. But a nice play by John Lull, and also a nice play by the Royal Flush team as a whole, and they will get their 2nd on the board, keeping some life in this half.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, big round out of John Lull there, getting the 4K Jocks with the opener onto B long. Tadros getting a little too ahead of his skis there, but a lapse in Crazy M's wall and got punished for it. Bionics able to get 2 off of it. First with a no-scope headshot with the operator. That's something you see every day.
To be fair, I think the barrel might as well have been pressed to his head as the first pick goes in the favor of the Bionics as the Rain Cloud will find Shababs, who does get tagged, but no attempt at the Hunter's Fury to come through in retribution. They're going to continue to try to work their way up B instead.
Poison's off.
Yeah, the map's getting crunched. Kuno's already pushed all the way through A. They know what's coming. There's no mid presence.
Poison orb emitting.
And the only one holding flank has fallen off. There are only 2 players on the site though, but this back yellow position can be deadly, and it'll find 2. That might be good enough for a round conversion here. Both players going to be on site. They should be aware of that pretty shortly. Gyrox poking a shoulder out, almost got taken down by the Tour de Force. Will go for a safer plant. John Wall, on the meantime, is making another play, has found one. Bruno's starting to rotate back towards his teammate. And actually will find John Wall looking at the wrong angle. We'll see if they invest the resurrection here, if they need it to take down Gyrox in this 1v2. Now Slow Orb stuck in the corner. This is going to be Free Fire City, you'd think, but he's just going to find both. Somehow they can't take him down. Full knowledge of the location in L. It'll be the clutch, and it'll be the 3rd on the board for Royal Flush as another huge individual play gets them around.
A designated clutch squad member coming through with it in the 1-on-2. What a big round for L7 right there. Drawing out a ton of money for Bionics here. If they're able to win this, they should be able to get a little bit of a bonus. Or eco out of Bionics.
Get out of my way.
Blightstorm actually back online will be John Lull's weapon of choice for the round. Tadros here to defend, does manage to dodge getting tagged, but is the only player right now. 3 are rotating in, and Tadros again from back yellow finds one, buys his team some time for the rotate, does eventually get traded, but Kiro had rotated in. It's going to be difficult to get the spike down now, and they're pinned in once again as Kuno is behind. Is that a wall up? That is a wall. Or is he standing on top of something? I'm not sure, but shots start to come through. Fox will be able to get the spike down, it looks like, but Kuno, his flank has developed. He's found one, he's found 2. It's all onto Fox. He's about to get pinged, about to get suppressed and about to get shot. Bionics bounce back. They prevent any sort of streak coming alive for the Royal Flush. And they will get their 6th on the board, and they'll go up 6-3, 3-round advantage for them.
Yeah, Bionics just looking like the better team right off the rip. I mean, the rounds they've been winning, they've been keeping a ton alive, and the rounds they've been losing, it's been one person left alive clutching. So, yeah, Bionics definitely are having the way of this map so far.
In we go.
A lot of map to be played, though. Could be something to say for the Royal Flush, especially when they get their defensive side. Though on this particular round, on their offensive side, their biggest threat will just be Gyrox's Tour de Force. Always a terrifying weapon, though. But Kiro taking one out, and that shot, I think, just went straight between the legs there. Unfortunate miss by Gyrox onto Kuno. Could have been a nice first pick. Instead, nothing comes of it. Tour de Force, though, is still online. That's a scary jump peak every time.
Ready. Here.
As long as that Tour de Force is up, and as long as that chamber is alive, there's a threat in this round for the Royal Flush. Bionics, though, so far haven't given too much of a chance to him.
Here.
He hasn't converted it, has Gyrox. There's actually an exploration down mid, and yeah, Gyrox will ring out onto the Rain Cloud, who was walking a little too far forward. Wall goes up, that Vandal. However, they have to wait out their own slow. Kuno trying to get sneaky. Does go down as well. They've gone through mid. They're going to be able to wall up. We'll see if they can get spike down. The spam through the box was in the right place, but wasn't good enough. But Shababs will find two. It's a 2v2 now. Shab's on 5 hit points, but alive. Planted by Gyrox. What a shot!
Spike planted.
Still living as well. Kuno has the resurrection, has to be thinking about using it for sure, but doesn't know where the safe place to pull someone back to their feet is. Both of these players playing towards an interesting angle. Hero will be brought back onto his feet as Kuno will monitor. This is, I think, perhaps even favored now for Royal Flush, as these angles are extremely unexpected. Gyrox's Tour de Force comes through Hero, though, with the Headhunter finds the burst and now has some awareness that he can get onto Spike, perhaps. But he can't, actually. 4 for Shababs, and every round win for the Royal Flush is off some kind of ridiculous play, and another one right there.
Yeah, Shabab's off to a very slow start, being #1 player rated in Premier, and gets a 4K that round, a double on Kiro, and a huge thrifty round win for Royal Flush. 2 rounds left in this half. They're gonna try and string them together if they can. Kiro is just going 8 bleep right now, 18-5, having himself a half.
Highest rated player in Premier and a controller main, call him Marv. He's been putting up similar numbers, it looks like, on the same role. Last place you usually expect your frag to be coming from, but when you can get him from the controller position, you are blessed, truly. It's coming towards A. Ninth, that 0 point does get 3, and there is a 4th. Bionics starting to rotate several in. Hero Criminal has found the box. That was all the way up on Belt. Tour de Force, like I said in the last round, always scary when it's up, always scary when it's up for the defense. Still the same. You want to start rotating back towards B, perhaps. Tadros, I believe that is lurked up into Tube a little bit. I think broke the tripwire. Oh, no, I think broke the tripwire. Sometimes hard to tell on the minimap. No tripwire there, so the trademark was broken. We're going to see a re-exploration here. We'll see if this becomes a duel. It's a mid-A split. Very unorthodox. Gonna walk into the first. Famzera, no way he was expecting that goes down. Now surely they hear all these footsteps and can guess there's a lot of players here. Kuno probably just gonna go hide somewhere as the Rain Cloud finds Shababs as they cross. Spike is being planted. The Rain Cloud came from behind there. They do expect Kuno's position, and John Lowell wins the duel as well. That's a huge swing in the round. That shot as well could have been close to stealing it. After a second in it. Viper's Pit out of heaven. This is an interesting play. 3 alive for both sides. Make that 3 alive just for the Bionics. Well, 3 alive for both sides again, as Fox is going to be brought back to his feet. And the Hunter's Fury immediately coming through as 2 players drop, 3 players drop. John Lowe with the nice shots. That was a slow developing retake, but it never fully formed.
Last round before the switch.
Nice use of the resurrection, and they get another round on the board. And I look at this scoreboard, because this is insane. This map is almost tied, and yet Kiro Criminal is 20-6. The Raincloud is 10-6. As a team, I think the Bionics are something like plus 10 in kills. But they're starting to lose these rounds off some huge plays out of Royal Flush. And at the end of the day, kills aren't everything. Rounds matter more.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can keep them together.
Yeah, Bionics definitely winning a lot and dying less often in their round wins, and Royal Flush must be getting into a lot of clutches. I think that last round was the first time they had more than 1 alive when they converted.
John will go down. Kuno, I think, barely got around the corner there, but did. is now tagged up by the Owl drone, but should be able to jump to safety behind one of A-Site's thousands of boxes. Wall's coming up though. Spike is being planted, and the Viper's Pit as well is online for Shabab. So that will make things difficult on the retake. The Hunter's Fury will come through immediately. We'll see if this can find anybody. Shots are ringing through, but I don't see any Royal Flush health bars dropping. Doesn't look like anybody took too much from that. There is a suppression coming through. They have to start retaking. Fox has found Tadros. Things are getting tricky with the Viper's Pit. This is a double stack on this generator position as well, which is going to be difficult to deal with for a short time. Slowly ticking every second, making this harder. Dabs will find one. Crucially, though, hasn't gone down, but unfortunately, Famzera has decided to take him down and the rest of his team with him. There should be plenty of time for the defuse, as Bionics will finally solve that Viper's Pit, and they take their 7th here.
Yeah, it looks like the round was getting close, and Royal Flush were going to be able to get that 6-6 tie, but Famzera with 3 in the round, but 2 big kills at the end to take down the Viper's Pit and one other, get that defuse with plenty of time to spare.
So now Bionics go on to the attack, and this was the side they were extremely impressive on in their matchup against Vaporwave a few weeks ago. I think they went something like 9-3 or 8-4 on their attack half. They ended up struggling on the defense, but did convert the map. But of course here they've already had a successful defensive half. The slight change, the KO for the Killjoy, we'll see what kind of impact that has on their attack side. I wouldn't necessarily call Killjoy an offensive agent, but on this map sometimes the stall is valuable. But Gyrox showing White Chamber is always valuable. Fox as well will find one, but does get traded. Does significant damage as well, though. This is making things difficult. Chavs as well, even though he's running away, has just put massive pressure on the flank. Bionics is now completely clueless as to where to go next.
3 left alive for Bionics, but one's pretty low. 1 shot to a Sheriff, and I believe there's at least 2. One with Gyrox, then one with John. Looking like they're trying to figure out where they want to go from here. Stage Wall blocking their tube attempt. And then Trademark on the other side, so mid's pretty much covered unless they do under tube split.
Yeah, I think the Sage Wall did just break. They're about to walk.
No charges left.
Oh, and they're about to walk into John Mall. Famzera, I think, believed that covered more than it did. Gyrox, it's all on to Kiro now. Oh, just twitched crosshair off of John Mall's head. Pays for it with his life. Pays for it with the round. Pistol round conversion for Royal Flush, and they should be tying this match in short order. As we're gonna, looks like we have a good one brewing here.
Yeah, definitely off to a good start on the defensive side. Royal Flush keeping 4 alive this time. John looked like he was thinking about bringing in a Vandal into this eco round, and after going back to Spectre, is settling for the Vandal. Or Phantom now. He's really struggling on what he wants to use here.
I've stopped trying to announce what guns people are covering early rounds. John Wall in this aggressive position is spotted ahead, takes some shots. I think got actually pretty good damage on one player, but just 1 shot onto the Rain Cloud, who will get that healed back up. Vandal, though, difficult to contend with, but the reward for taking down John Wall could be great. They can collect it for themselves. Aggressive forward again, getting tagged by the jumping right click, ends up falling away as well, tagged by the recon dart. More jumping right clicks, I think that connected. Shabs, though, has taken down Kuno way out on the other side of the map as they were trying to explore the long. Shabs now lurking up into this angle. I'm not sure I like this play, though. We'll have to get at least 2. Swing out and will find 2, will find 3, might find all 5. Oh! Maybe the internet went out there for a split second, does eventually go down to the Rain Cloud. Good timing on that swing, and it's going to leave the Rain Cloud dead as he's going to cross mid with his knife out. We are tied up. I didn't like that position, but I did like the swing from Shabs. Caught them off guard. I think if he stayed in that corner, good chance he gets traded 1-for-1, gives over a Spectre, but goes for the aggressive play and is rewarded handsomely for it. Maybe a little bit of a internet timeout for a split second there on the last alive, but either way, a huge 4K.
Yeah, not really sure what happened there. That ace was served up for him on a silver platter, swinging into Rain Cloud, and it looked like internet did go up, but then a reload started right at the last second, so not exactly sure what happened there.
I've never seen someone move in that straight of a line with an internet connection still alive. John Wall is trying to be very aggressive. We'll get away with it just barely, just jet things. And Fox as well. Wow, both these players about 65 health, I think, between them. He did get some damage onto the other side, but paid for it more, I think, for themselves. That is a aggressive location to send a drone from. Fox is stuck between a rock, and bullets. Yeah, he's going to go down. There is no way out of that position for him. Bionics do punish him. A lot of the members of Royal Flush are low. John Lull now goes down due to being low, though Gyrox will find Tadros, who is trying to get through mid. Shabs is going to be able to recover this rifle as no one's here to defend it. Crazy M as well with the Spectre gets some run and gun shenanigans to go his way. But Bionics still with the numbers advantage, should still have control of this round, but they're starting to lose numbers, and they're starting, that economic damage is starting to add up.
Yeah, Shabs might just be electing to save the Phantom. Gyrox is just trying to see what he can do economically. And no, Fanzera takes the final two, and Bionics regain the lead, 8-7.
I talk a lot about expected round wins, and my curse seems to have lessened in power, but that was an expected round win for Bionics with the better weapons. This will be the tricky round, is they're going to mostly have Vandals alive. It actually looks like they have full rifles alive, but it will be full rifles on the other side. The only exception is John Lull on lighter armor. Not necessarily going to matter too much, only one Phantom on the attacking side, and that is Tadros, and with the ranges on Icebox, that might not matter either way. It's going to be an really aggressive wall, and John Lull has found Famzera. Armor be damned, he doesn't need it. Headshots do all the work for you. It does look like Bionics might keep pushing forward. There's a bit of a misread by Royal Flush. There's only two players here. John Lull on the off angle doesn't actually need to hit the shots because his teammate does it for him. He finds two, does Fox. Down to just the last two. Tadros will find John Lull. Spikes on top of belt. That's an awkward position to dislodge, and Fox is just a headshot machine in this round. Kiro's going to have to find a huge one. It has been the frag leader for Bionics this whole map. It has 47 hit points. Vandal to work with. One headhunter shot should he need it, should he want it. But 4 players, and again, that position for the spike looks safer than it is. That is very prone to being double held if Royal Flush chose to do so. So they can take down Shab. Unfortunately, even with the footsteps heard, the hyper wide swing from Shababs is good enough. That'll be an 8-8 tie, and again, expected rounds. Ooh, we got a timeout coming through. I actually don't know what Bionics economy looks like. But with the timeout coming through, they're going to try to at least fight for this, to break this tie in their favor, as they've dropped a few this half.
Yeah, real nice start to the round. John finding the opener, and then Fox with the rest of the kills up until Shababs on to close it. And a real solid round from Royal Flush to bring us back to a tie game. And I'm assuming economy's fine for Bionics. They did win the previous round to that one, and I think it was 3 lives, so it should be okay, but not 100% on what it's going to look like. Maybe we'll get a scoreboard check. If not, we'll definitely see in about 30 seconds.
They didn't get spiked down in that last round, and right now nothing invested before the timeout was called.
It looks like everyone's got utility, though, so they can still make a solid effort if they get like an early pick or two, and maybe be able to snowball the round off the back of it. Got the Hunter Street, got the null command.
Yeah, that is. There are tools to work with, if not weapons, as it does look like it's going to be the lighter buy. I see Marshall, Marshall Stinger or something coming in, but nothing powerful. It looks like mostly sheriffs and the Spectre here. From the attacking side, they might take this as an extended timeout in this round. Continue talking things through for the next gun round, unless, of course, things start to turn their way. One of the problems they're going to have to figure out how to deal with has been John Lull on a site has been a menace so far. Got caught up in jail one round, but otherwise has just been clicking heads. Got to figure out what to do about that conundrum. He's once again in an interesting angle. Completely exposed at belt, by the way. Doesn't seem to mind. Does eventually fall off with it, though.
Yeah, must be reading into the buy and knows that they're on weaker weapons, so he can afford to take a little bit more of an aggressive stance than you would in a gun round. Actually dropping back and a lot of A plate control taken, mid being held by Kiro Criminal. And Royal Flush is just respecting it. They're not getting too far ahead of themselves right now. Holding back, playing long angles with the Vandals.
See if this toxic screen plays into John Wall's favor. They did just get a cursory clear, but they might not expect there to be enough space for him to be still hidden behind. However, in the meantime, first pick has gone the favor of Bionics. Tadros did expect the position, but wasn't good enough to win the dual spike. Being attempted to being planted, it should go down, and it will. As we've already got a player, though, just rushing over the top. And Shabs will find one, will find two. What kind of a spray transfer was that? Famzera does find John Lull. Things are getting difficult without good weapons. Kiro, caught looking the wrong direction, will go down to Shababs. What was that spray transfer? As that'll that gets him another round conversion.
Yeah, very nice play out of Shabs there. Good spray control, and then uses the rope to get his third on the round and get Royal Flush their first lead of the game.
Just that spray transfer, we unfortunately didn't catch it, but he was full Vandal spraying like 6 or 7 bullets into the spray at one player and then just manages to drag a bullet into the other's head. Not a deterministic spray pattern, but well controlled by Shabs. And that was kind of the pivotal pick in that round. I think it got them up 4-2 instead of being a 3-3, 3 alive on each side. Still probably would have been favored to win the round with the better guns, but always helps when you can pull off a big play, as Royal Flush's players have been doing kind of all game.
It's looking like they're going to tease the waters on B for the first time in this half. You know, they ran up it in their second round of the half where Shabs had a 4K, but they haven't really made an actual effort to hit the site this half. Got complete B long control. Haven't really gotten behind yellow yet, so still got some ground to make up before they get a plant.
Screen up. They're not able to walk forward here. The Viper is just lurking on the other side of the map. Actually might walk too far forward. What could Tadros? Oh, the timing might be catching a window here. Actually has just told his team that the site's clear. It could just turn around and kill Gyrox right now, but it was completely unaware. Both players are completely unaware of each other. Tadros will find one, gets traded out. They should be aware that there's at least one player here in John Lull. We'll see if they expect Gyrox as well, as the hit has fully rumbled back towards this site. John Lull has been lethal this half. He's going to find his fourth. Does get shut down by Kuno. One off the resurrection. Could go for the plant. Probably doesn't hear the flank coming in, though. He's only got 15 seconds. Has to try to get spiked down. Surely hears the flank now. Surely pulls off. Does get the shot. No time to plant. Oh, wait. That Hunter's Fury is a mistake. He's going to be able to push the player under. Finds Fox. What a play by Kuno to win the round.
Yeah, huge play from Kuno. Shabazz maybe making his presence known a little too early, trying to stop the plant from going down, and a little bit of a mistake. They still would have had that man advantage and no real close res to be brought back in. A little bit of an oversight, and Bionics timed this game back up.
It's huge that even wins that without the res. The Hunter's Fury from Fox would have been a great idea if he had stayed in heaven, stayed behind the site, but he was positioned, a bit of a poor decision, really. Allowed himself to get pushed, trying to delay the spike. And John Lull is killing people again.
Yeah, he's off to a really solid defensive half, kind of struggling early on their attacking half.
He has just been menacing this aggressive, taking menacing and aggressive positions in aiming. However, did Fox spot someone? Did Fox get spotted? I'm not sure, but Bionics are locked into the A site right now. They're going to clear mid Royal Flush, but now that they have checked it and seen nothing, they're now able to fully commit to the A site. Fox in the mother of all off angles if Bionics try to rotate. It's just going to be 4 into 4 here on site. Surprise 5th player that will help the Royal Flush later. It's going to be an uphill battle for the Bionics, but they have some tools to work with here with the Viper's Pit, with the Null Command. We'll see if either or both come out. As that drone spots 3, so they're a bit aware, and they are going to get the wallbang kill off of it. Viper's Pit does come in, as does the Null Command. Gyrox finds 1. Gyrox will find 2. That's a nice pick on Hero. He will then swing out and find the KO. On to the ground, the spam is going to find Tadros. And that lurk from Fox, though he doesn't actually get anything done himself, was what sealed in Bionics' fate.
Yeah, and what, 2 ults burnt that round for Bionics, and not really able to get any value from it. Famzera and Tadros with 2 very useful ults too on a side tag. So pretty unfortunate for Bionics not able to pull that round together. But like you mentioned, Fox pretty much locking in the round with his lurk.
So the weak, or was this a weak buy? Because I see a tour de force and I always get confused. Yeah, the lighter buy will come in for Bionics. Not necessarily needing this round, but they are needing to start finding a foothold in this attack half. Kiro will shoot off, I believe, 2 shots from the tour de force. Both go wide. First pick would be nice. Tadros. Now that's an aggressive defensive Viper's Pit that's really going to lock out the Bionics here. Let's see if they decide to challenge it.
Spike down, attacker
John
spawn.
Wall is almost in their spawn killing somebody and actually found the spike as well. Does get traded though. A bit too aggressive, but it's 3v4 or 4v3 still for Royal Flush. He's a bit weak though. If Bionics choose to make their way that direction, Tadros is going to lurk up towards Kitchen. Might not be able to find a shot. Might be able to find a shot! Just a little too slow on the reactions. Will go down to Crazy M. That would have been a huge pick. Instead, it does look like this round should handily wind up in the favor of Royal Flush. Spike is being planted, but I don't think Famzera is expecting a player to be here, and isn't. I don't think they've caught on to the fact that Gyrox literally never leaves A site until the spike is planted on B. Kiro, no reason not to go for this. Only has the classic actually invested. Goes up for the rope. Is just stuck behind a slow orb. No chance to win the round. Figure he's got to walk forward. There's no reason for him to live. We'll go down. Crazy and we'll get that kill. So the Bionics really struggling with their attack half this time around. They had so much success against Vaporwave, a slightly different composition. Here, they're not even really getting spike plants, which is, you know, not great. The economy is falling flat. Kiro, who has been the head of this team, is a little more difficult on attack side on Chamber to make impact, and especially when John Lull has been such a demon on the A site. Perhaps a reprieve though for Bionics as he's making his way towards B while they're going A. A bit of a misread from the Royal Flush perhaps coming through. So they want to aggress mid.
It looks like a little bit of a fast A coming out of Bionics there. Both are reading each other kind of well so far. With the controller trying to gain 4 here for Bionic or for Royal Flush. Well, Bionics are going to try and get the plant down. Nice big openers for Bionics.
Yeah, they will find the first 2 picks. Still don't have quite the space to get the spike down. The Rain Cloud's going to start planting, and Shabs will find Kuno at the expense of a spike plant. So possible again, and Fox on this big lurk. I'm not sure if he's being watched. He isn't. Oh, what the reactions coming through from the chamber. Kiro will go down eventually. But now Fox's location is noted. Unfortunately, he's got the recon dart. He's just completely breaking this round apart. Maybe they didn't know where he was, but the Rain Cloud finally turns and takes him out. John Lull, though, is still alive. John Lull is still alive, and he's found 1. He's found 2. Fox, again, is just getting freely out of B-Long every round into the attacker spawn and is making them pay for it each and every time.
Yeah, Bionics, Kiro Kurma putting his trip in usually a smart location out towards A entrance, but The lurk is, or it's being completely avoided by Fox jumping up into spawn every time. And capitalizing off the back of it. And then this round was the most impactful of all of his flanks, getting 2 kills and a bunch of damage onto a third.
Unfortunate that he gets 2 there. Misplayed by the Bionics. Not having a second player turn to help Kiro, who did manage to get away with that rendezvous. Quick reactions to taking damage. Had a chance to get the frag himself, didn't pull it off. John Mahal getting aggressive on top of Tube as the defender. And they're actually going to try to punish Fox for the lurk up, but Tadros doesn't manage to get the shots off. So that is a difficult thing to deal with. John Mahal's position I would have thought would be difficult to deal with, and that's actually not going to be. They're going to find one, and that's pretty much unresable, but Tadros isn't. It's going to be a 5v4 for the Bionics. I don't know how close Viper's pit is, but the Viper utility very helpful in getting Spike down, especially towards this B site where they're approaching. The Royal Flush are going to run in. They're going to control. There's nobody here on the B site. What do they expect this person? Oh, they actually managed to res John Lol safely. That's insane. That is a huge commitment by Royal Flush. We'll see if Bionics can read into this, and it doesn't look like they have. They're not fully aware that there must have been at least 2, maybe 3 there, but that tripwire. Oh, the trademark trip gets them to rotate away. Tadros will get a kill. Spike is going to go down easily. Hero, making noise basically, draws a ton of rotations with just 1 little trip. Tadros will find a second. Big value off that resurrection already. See if he swings and finds a third clean. Has a whistle so far. 2 left to find. Might get shot in the back though. Will. It's a difficult position to fight out of forever. 4 alive for Bionics. All on to Gyrox. Never mind. The round is over. A nice round by the Bionics. Bit of an over-rotate by the... Well, not a bit. Definitely an over-rotate by Royal Flush, and they made them pay.
Yeah, and a huge round coming out of Tadros right there. I believe he had a 3K off the round after getting rezzed, and that brings the Viper's Pit online in a must-win round 23. And pretty doable. Both teams on solid buys. Economy should be good for Royal Flush for this round and the next. Jamal bringing in the op for the first time in the game.
Deploying drone. Enemy tag.
Sham's position will not be noted by that Owl drone as Brain Cloud begins to push forward. And it'll fall because of it. Nice shot.
Kind of just ran out with his knife out as well. Maybe not knife, but utility. I'm not totally certain which, but...
Yeah, that's the Hunter's Fury going down.
Trying to break the Owl drone, perhaps. John will switch to the Operator and already having less success with it. Maybe he should have stuck with the Vandal. Dude was clicking heads with that thing. Instead, the pressure will start to come forward, and John Will's going to go down to Kuno on top of 410. Spike's going to get attempted to be planted here. I can't tell where we are on the map, but Gyrox finds Famzera in the Viper's Pit. It's still up, but so is Gyrox, who will go down from inside of it. Very low health players on the side of Bionics, but they are still alive. Unfortunately, the Spike in an awful position. Crazy M, though, is slowly ticking down. Gonna be at 1 hit point.
Left.
Killable. Spike is picked up. Crazy M just spam fires. Will manage to slip just away. Tadros on 5 HP here. Taking his lucky stars, that wasn't a snake bite as he starts to push his way up. They have to find a way to get Spike down. There's only 15 seconds. They have to start planting, and soon. There's not really much else they can afford to do. They're going to find one, but Crazy M finds both. Crazy M will find all 3. Just took a little too long. They waited for the heal, and they paid for it with their map. As Royal Flush will take the first, and that won't be the dagger, but that is very close to being the end of the line for the Bionics, as they're going to need a bit of a miracle now if they want to make playoffs.
Yeah, Bionics definitely, this next map is must win for them. They lose, I do believe they are eliminated. And with that map win, actually, Royal Flush should have locked in that #1 seed, which is a pretty nice accomplishment for them. 2 Lucky Sevens teams with that honor.
That will put them at... It pins a result, is what it does. Because they could still end up with 10 losses. And it pins some tiebreakers, but it's very close.
Yeah, I think so. I think actually...
I don't know the
look...
tiebreakers. I'm not going to find them in the
Yeah.
middle of a stream.
Yeah.
We're going to go to break before we come back with map 2, which I have completely forgotten, but I'm sure we'll find out. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
No, I can't deny the way you
And we're back. We just saw map 1 between Royal Flush and Bionics, and Bionics' red-hot streak in the second half of the season might have just come to a screeching halt as they could not convert on Icebox. They ended up losing 13-10, and that might have just been the loss that locks them out of playoffs. Nadesy, we are going into map 2, which we are pretty sure is Ascent. But we've been struggling to figure that out for the past 5 minutes. But assuming it is Ascent, what are you expecting here? Do you think Bionics can bounce back and take this, or do you think Lucky Sevens will take it and potentially, or will, for sure, guarantee their #1 spot?
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a battle. Lucky Sevens, not the best Ascent team from what I've seen. They're strong on all the maps, but it's definitely a weak point for them. So we'll see how they're able to kind of adjust their comp from previous matches and see if they're able to win a map on it. Something minor of note, if Lucky Seven or Royal Flush does lose this map, they do play Inferno for the final match day, and if they get 2-0'd, they would, I don't know how tiebreakers work out, but they could lose that #1 overall seed. So a lot of pressure to win this one.
I can actually check when did they first would have played week or match 7 as you're getting into Agent Select. It was a 1-1, so it would go to Inferno if they 2-0'd next on Friday. We might actually try to stream that match depending on this result. I have not decided what matches we're streaming, which is maybe not the best decision I've ever made in my life. I'll have to sort that out probably as soon as this game concludes, once I have all the results. But none of that matters right now as we're getting into Ascent. We're already seeing some lock-ins come through. What do you think about what we're seeing so far? And whose comp are you gonna favor? I guess we don't really have comps to pick, or comps to fully analyze yet. But so far, what do you feel about Bionics locks?
Yeah, Bionics is definitely locking in a lot of solid agents. Very common on this map. No real weak spot being brought in. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very competitive comp for Royal Flush to deal with. On the other side, they are starting to make some of those changes that had been brought up over the weekend. Looking like they're not going to run a duelist unless John switches, which I would expect him to.
Select your agent.
KO was mentioned, but looking like no one's really going to bring it in. I don't know. They're figuring it out. They'll get there.
Bionics have played a ton of Ascent. It is one of their favorite maps to play. And early in the season, they were getting absolutely destroyed on Ascent. I think they lost something like it might be first 5 matches on Ascent. No, they won their very first and then lost 4 or 5 in a row. But recently, they've won their last 3 against a variety of teams, including the aforementioned Inferno. I don't think they played Royal Flush on this map in their last matchup. I'm going to check really quickly. No, they did not. They played Bind and Split. So, new map between these two. And we're going to see quite similar compositions. And is that a triple initiator?
That
I
is a
smell out of
triple
Royal
initiator.
Flush. We will see how they play this on attack side, because if anybody here watches any VCT and has seen this triple initiator comp, a lot of teams struggle to make this work on the attack side. Optic, notably, really has struggled to make it work on the attack side. Struggled to find rounds, struggled to find the map pressure you need with this comp. It's a difficult composition to play, but one that can be very rewarding if you can pull it off. Unfortunately, the price you pay to run triple initiator is you don't have a jet, which would typically be the duelist on this map, who can just take you space in A main, right? Yeah. You can't dash out. You can't create that space. You can't pull guns off the angle. So if you want to go through A main or B main, you're going to get mowed down. So you have to split pretty much every round with this composition. Bionics will have the raise, so a little bit of a difference, and wow, nice shot by Famzera will find them the first. As they're storming straight through mid with the other 4 players. Gyrox can be forced to turn around, I believe was suppressed, goes down, there's 2 players in the smoke. I don't think they're going to be able to do much as the Bionics just storm through. Okay, they will find Shabs, and that's actually the spike, so they have to go back to pick that up. There's going to be a top flash through as well. They find, It's another trade. It comes down to a 1v2, but Shabs does have control of the spike. Doesn't know where the last two might be, however. Goes back, grabs a ghost. Both players slightly low on health. They're gonna re-aggress together to grab the spike and make their way back towards site. Shabs, fully aware, has
One enemy
full
remaining.
audio, catches Famzero, will force a 1v1.
Spike planted.
Hero Criminal, the hero from Bionics on the last map. So it's a very tough 1v1 for Shababs to win here. See if he expects the Speedway position. Takes a couple pot shots, not going to connect. In that position known.
Both players jump away, but Kiro manages to just survive on 20 HP, take that round, a huge 1v1 clutch, or at least a nice 1v1 clutch. Always good to start the map with the pistol. It'll get you 2-0 up pretty quickly most of the time.
BYB fam, going to Astro
Most.
to do them Astro Guardian things I do.
And they should be able to get up 2-0 in this round. Got the Spectres, got the Vandal. Full buy, no FPX buy here. Which is more common on the attack side, but it's not going to be implemented. Bionics almost saw things fall apart for them in the last round, but it all worked out, all good. And they're going to go up. They are up 1-0. Oh! Crazy M trying to greed the orb, baits some bullets, and just turn tail. Actually a 1-for-1 trade. Kuno died with the Vandal.
Should be recoverable. There's no real
Yeah,
loss
that
investment.
It's actually, though Gyrox is alive, that's a huge loss for Royal Flush because he is out of headhunter bullets. He only has the classic now. The biggest threat in the round, with the gun being unrecoverable for the side of Royal Flush, is offline. They are relying just on mostly classics to make an impact here. I've seen crazier, but John Lull will go down.
Concealment, obscuring vision.
And they're gonna storm through tree to make it to the B site, the A site rather. Crazy him as well. This is noted by the Haunt. Spike down. It should be round secured.
Last player
Unless
standing.
the last two can make something huge happen. They're both just gonna save us all some time and dive straight into the site. The Rain Cloud will take both. Quick little ending to that round, and it'll be 2-0 up with 4 guns alive, and crucially the Vandal will carry.
Yeah, very solid round from Bionics. Even losing one player early, but like you mentioned, no headhunter. Made it very tough to really get any picks. It was mostly just classics that fell pretty quickly.
And look at this team coordination. 2 kills for every member of Bionics. You love to see it.
Yeah, that's almost balanced. Someone decided they wanted to die twice. Little default coming out of Bionics here, just getting some early mid control, and they've been capitalizing on it.
Yeah, we were watching that earlier match on Ascent between the Candymen and the Sod Gods. Contender, our lowest tier here in the VDC. The Premier, our highest. So we're seeing a lot of difference in the map play here. More patience out of Bionics, more split play. Can get punished for that, as Fox will find Famzera all on his lone stuff and gets away with the frag.
Bring them down.
Yeah, funnily enough, I was watching this tournament right before stream called the GLG or something, and the Royal Flush comp they're running right now is a comp that one of the teams was running. I believe they lost 13-4. It was a pretty heavy steamroll by the opponents. Not sure of ranks, and it's just like some for fun tournament, I think. So it's interesting to see how a team with maybe some more coordination puts it to work.
30 seconds left.
But just going off past knowledge, not a successful.
Bionics with weaker buy though, going in towards the A site, and nice little utility play from Hero, or from the whole team really, but Hero ends up netting the nade kill. And they are going to close that door. Are they expecting Gyrox or John Wall to run through it? They are absolutely not. That's 3 for him. Gotta watch that closing door, guys. Gyrox will clean up the last. It looked like a promising round for Bionics. It looked like they had the A site, but you gotta watch the closing door.
Yeah, John catching them with their pants down gets a 3K. keeps 4 alive because of it. And first round on the board for Royal Flush against the bonus, so the buy will come back in for Bionics here.
And we actually see Crazy M opting for a really light buy as well, so the defense a little weaker here. You can't get away with it necessarily as easily as you can on the attack side. Sometimes guns don't, or more often guns don't fall where you can recover them. Keep an eye on that, as there's a lot of mid-aggression coming through for Royal Flush. Taunt, I don't think, has seen anybody, as there's a player just storming straight towards tiles right now. Shabs just, I believe, goes down. Tadros will find a second as well. Shabs there. Oh, John Lowe finds one. Famzera's found one on the A side as well. This round is hectic and fast.
Enemy remaining.
Famzera will take down John Lowe. Round now clearly in favor of the Bionics, as the 3v1 retake will come in for Fox.
Spike
I was
planted.
trying to say the Prowler got Shabs trying to push forward and blinded him. Fox. Again, these L7 players don't like to take the time in the clutch moments. Will just go down, and that'll end us. Our 4th round, with Bionics taking a quick one, as Royal Flush tried to get aggressive and paid for it.
Yeah, trying to get a ton of mid control, and the trades just did not go in their favor until slowly, one by one, they lost the round. 3 alive for Bionics, keeping that economy backed up quite nicely.
And we do actually still see a full buy out of the defense. Kept enough alive against the bonus to be able, and they didn't bother to fully reinvest in the previous round, so they do have the buy here. I think we've seen Royal Flush do that a couple of times, where they heavily invest in, or they sort of delay a buy by a round to make sure they still have one. Sort of like a half bonus type deal. Famzera has just found Fox. So the first pick going the way of the Bionics. They are, though, Spike is towards this A side. We'll see if it ends up committing here. We've got the tools to clear Crazy M out of this position. A grenade or a fragment or both could make things really difficult really quickly.
And they're considering it.
I'm not sure they want to invest that utility, and they could get punished for it. 0 Point does know they're both here. Crazy M playing very patient. Now, Bionics rotated 4 back towards this A main position. It doesn't look like they're going to split all that much. We'll see how much this plays into Crazy M's hands. Are they cognizant enough?
I think they might think it's clear, because the orb grab, no one swung off the back of it, and then they're not going to clear it.
Crazy M swings out, only good for one, though. Thankfully, at least gets one that counts. Uno lives. There's only 13 seconds here, though, and they're not into the site yet. They're taking their sweet time. They're walking to 4 trades.
1 enemy remaining.
Even, and Shabs left in the 1v1. 10 HP, has to just dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge around Dice here. Famzera with the jumping classic with tenths of a second left is going to get it. What a flurry of trades, and I'm not sure how Bionics won that round.
The luck of the right click, that's all you can say. I mean, that jumping right click, it gets the headshot to take Shabab's down. I'm pretty sure it was on solid HP.
Was on 10 hit points.
Oh, he was on 10 hit points. Okay.
Was on 10 hit points. Shabs was dead to any right click there. It was all about the time.
And definitely Crazy M on that wine swing. He did a little more value. Unable to get it.
Yeah, like I said, at least got one that counted, but unfortunately wasn't enough. This is aggressive, though, from Gyrox. We'll see if they even... I think they're aware of it. Because nobody from Bionics, like three players are looking this direction, or were for a moment, but none of them are actually peeking it. Might get the tour de force duel here. Who is the better cyclist? It's Famzera who takes down Gyrox. That's a nice first pick for the Bionics. Royal Flush are on a lighter buy, so tour de force offline hurts.
Yeah, Famzera took a lot more of a deep angle than I think Gyrox was expecting, and didn't quite process it in time.
Bionics made sure to throw the paint shells towards Wine this round, as they'll find another on the A side as well. Definitely not wanting to get tricked quite. Famzera shouldn't be alive, but is gonna get the frag. There are 2 players towards B. I guess they're taking the spike this direction. It looks like they will. They're going to face into Shabs, who will just end up dropping. It's all on a John Wall. 1v5 has a Ghost in a Dream. It's going to smartly grab the orb before the spike goes down, so, you know, it's a little closer to his ult. At least I think he grabbed the orb. He might not have stopped long enough.
Spike planted.
Ghost in hand, 5 alive. To be honest, I've never heard of a story like this.
And put down quite quickly. 5 on the board for Bionics, still looking very strong on the new map.
The new map.
Well,
You're on Pearl now.
the new
What
map for
year
this
is it?
series.
What year is it, Nancy? It's not 2020 anymore. This map is old.
The new map for tonight's set.
I'll be honest. Ascent. I'm a little tired of Ascent maps in here in the VDC. Something about it just feels like it gets played all the time. I'm pretty sure we haven't even streamed a playoff match with Ascent in it, but it feels like nothing but Ascent as this is a fast foot. Oh my god!
Hide it.
I shouldn't have been talking about the map because Kira wanted to talk about his rocket type 3. He's probably gonna find Fox or smokes somehow, because why wouldn't he? Actually, he doesn't. Fox maybe just look around the corner. Okay, he's gonna walk back to the Hero's gun. Hero on for the ace here. We'll see how far he goes hunting. Because I have no illusions that he will not. As for Reed, going for the style points and will get them. Hero brings out the Sheriff, the showstopper, and it all. He gets 5, and I think that was Royal Flush's buy, and that thing disappeared in a heartbeat.
Yeah, definitely backing up the name Showstopper with that round. I mean, jaw on the ground. What a play by Kiro Criminal right there.
And you can't count out the aid that came in from the team. There was some utility invested, especially the null command from Kuno that prevented like a 0 point or just. I think Gyrox was involved in that kerfuffle, couldn't get away. All sorts of awkward for Royal Flush. They all try to scatter in the same direction towards safety, and well, Showstopper will make you pay for that. We don't see a lot of multi-kill Showstoppers anymore across all of Valorant, really, but we saw a big one there. Jamal, though, has taken down the Rain Cloud, so the first pick's actually gone to Royal Flush. We'll see if they can get all the way up to that gun, though. It's a long walk forward. He's going to have to find a player to get there. As Kuno will cleanly take off the head of Gyrox, flashes himself forwards, end up falling off. John will actually recover the rifle and recovers a kill. Is finally traded. So that should be the rifles now unrecoverable for sure this time. That's an interesting investment of the Nightfall to just to clear short. Crazy M does have the Spectre here. It's been dinked away. Now 2 low health players for Royal Flash. Padro's low enough that the Spectre, though, might as well be a Phantom.
Yo, Fox has the Hunter's Fury online. He grabbed the B main ult orb. That could come in handy. I don't think he'll expect him to be there either.
Probably not. We'll see if they were paying enough attention. It doesn't look like they were. Oh, he misses the first, but he does find the second. Thankfully, it's the low health player that peeks him. Unfortunately, Kuno will swing him as well. They should have enough time to get the spike down as Shabs is super far away. And we'll have to make the most of this 1v2 attempt. Still just the Sheriff to work for, or work with. Doesn't work for the Sheriff, probably.
Could recover a Vandal down Speedway if he's quiet about it. But probably won't be expecting Kuno.
Kuno was watching the other direction, has now looped back around, figuring that Shabs is getting close. Knife actually goes towards the wrong side. They're not expecting Shabs to be there. He finds the first, and he hears Kuno. He knows Kuno's here! How did Shabs win that? He's got time for the defuse and everything. Bit of a blunder at the end of the round there. Unpressured noise being made by Kuno, and Shabs will convert a Thrifty that he had no business winning.
Absolutely no business winning. Like you mentioned, Kuno thinking he's more towards spawn, and Shabs is able to slip the net and get the round.
Not quite sure where they expected he must have gone when that knife didn't, when that 0 point didn't find him. It couldn't have been saving. The only guns available were on the site, and they never. Baffling play. Then Kuno runs forward before the spike was even tapped. Probably only had to play time. Even had the fragment that could have bought plenty of time as well.
The only thing I can think is they thought Shabs grabbed the Vandal top mid that John had dropped earlier in the round.
Oh, Famzera could have teleported away. Finally remembers, hey, wait, I'm playing Chamber. And does get away. Takes a lot of damage for it, though. Bionics have been having a dominant half so far, but we'll see if that play is what starts to break things back in the favor of Royal Flush. Tadros finds the first, though. Low health as well. We got some spam coming through the defensive spawn wall. Always a fun time.
Revealing area.
Two low players for Bionics, so Royal Flush should be able to capitalize off of that, even in the man disadvantage. Two very strong ults to stop site takes. Crazy with a very nice spot in hell that I don't know if they're going to expect. And Kuno's jumped on top. He's slowly making his way towards spawn. This is just a weird round right here.
Lurks on, lurks on, lurks. Crazy M with the trigger discipline. There's no way they ever expect this. There's no way, but they also don't expect Kuno's position. The rats each get a pair. But Kuno manages to survive and swings back out onto Crazy M. I got a little confused because there was a KO. There was a null command pop from the defense, so I was confused which KO was down, which KO was alive. But John Lol ultimately was the one on his hands and knees. Kuno gets the 3K. Might have been a 4K. Either way, his backstab works a little better than Crazy M's, and that's the second time. Crazy M only has 2 frags, and it's both off those positions. One in Wine, one in Hell, and both times only getting one ends up costing Royal Flush a little bit.
Yeah, just another similar story to Crazy M with the hero rifle gets early value, but I was gonna say back with map 2 or map 1 Icebox. Royal Flush off to a very slow start. We'll see if they're able to rebound in the second half.
See if they can rebound in the rest of this half, as the Rain Clouds just found 2 John Lol on 15 hit points. Crazy M, again, you noted with the rifle, and Gyrox doesn't need a rifle. Has a Pocket Marshal. Crazy M gets away, or Pocket Guardian, your choice of words. They've also, I think, just recovered. John Lol's going to be recovering that rifle in B main. Has for sure done so. They're nowhere near close enough to hear this pop flash. Tadros is probably not going to be clear. Oh, does actually clear this. Well kept are the wits of these Bionics players as they're going to start to make their way towards B. Still, though, very, very winnable round for Royal Flush. That Nightfall is going to catch nobody on site. So it should give them enough space to go plant, which it will.
Two opportunity. Gyrox with the long wrap, and he going through mid to try and recover a Vandal. Should be even keel for both sides here, and in what's a very important round for Royal Flush to win.
Both players on Royal Flush a little lower on health, 62 on Crazy M. I think it was 80 something, maybe 70. I can't remember exactly on Gyrox. So players a bit lower, but headshots kind of nullify your hit points. If you just shoot the enemy in the head, they kind of just die. Rain Cloud now in a difficult position, has to swing out. Spamming the box though, well played to find Crazy M. It's gonna run time down very low. As long as he just lives, he's gonna win it out. He'll clutch it out. Pulls out the classic with the time. Gyrox can't get the defuse. That's a nice little 1v2 clutch.
Big 4K out of Rain Cloud. Yeah, 1v2 clutch. Able to connect some, looked like just lucky headshots through that, wallbang headshots through that box. And that Bionics able to get an 8 on the board, and they're looking very, very strong on this new map.
I don't know if I'd call it lucky. I mean, the headshots themselves, but he knew where Crazy M had to be defusing from. You could see the rest of the spike. At a certain point, right, you can intuit where the head's going to be.
Yeah, no, sometimes the wall does what it wants and prevents the headshots from hitting.
Am I smelling some bias, Nancy?
No, sir. I'm trying to keep it a buck.
Bias on my good cast. Fox though has walked way up mid. Lives on 5 hit points. And nope, shot in the back. Oh,
whoa.
Spike down mid.
Okay, Crazy M. That's a nice little 2-piece. That puts this round in the favor of Royal Flush, and a round they desperately need. Every round they desperately need at this point. It's the most defensive sided map in the game, additionally. And they can use every round they can get because they already have lost their defensive half, and it's not close right now. Oh, how is he not dead to that spam? Did he not get seized? It doesn't matter. He's going to be forced out of position. It's all onto the Rain Cloud. We got a 4K last round. Has to get one against 4 alive in this one. Only player up. The Spike is in just an awful position. Haunt's going to have to be shot.
30 seconds left.
11 HP now. Doesn't have money, so might as well go for this, but there's only 20 seconds left. Even clearing the wrap, and actually just goes down to spam. Well, he got the spam to work for him last time. It works against him here.
Last round in the half.
Royal Flush getting that third on the board. Desperately need this fourth if they want to have a really solid shot in the attacking half with running an attackerless or duelist comp.
Yeah, forgot about that, but yeah, their attack side potentially going to be very difficult as we got a lot of 10s coming across the board for Bionics. 4 players on 10 kills. The Rain Cloud coming up with 7. 4 of them, of course, in that huge clutch he just pulled off 2 rounds ago. I thoroughly have not seen this play before, but this is a very aggressive AN mid pressure that it looks like it's coming in. Actually, not super aggressive in mid, but aggressive A pressure. End up getting capitalized on, but it does force back the Bionics.
Yeah,
I wonder.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I kind of wonder if you're lacking for a Jet with that play because the Nightfall gets 3, I believe, but nobody was really able to get close to those distance to follow up. We've got the fight for A-main control. Crazy Imp is gonna end up getting away, as does Gyrox.
You know, a lot of the extremities being controlled by Bionics right now. A-main and B-main, they have full B-main control. But the A-hit is coming in. Gyrox
is pushing through. Kiro finds the first. Tadros will find one as well. Will they expect Gyrox in hell behind the Cosmic Divide?
30
So Crazy in this position before. Actually, Spike's not here. Spike is about to be planted on the B site. This is some shenanigans. Kiro will get caught out by the flashbang with Gyrox, and the rest of the team are going to walk out on A like, hey, wait a minute. There's nobody home. We've been bamboozled. Now they have to rotate back. They have to deal with this smoke, which is going to waste a flash as well. John Wall now has none to work with. The flashpoint had to come through. Will they expect the actual off angle that's being played by Tadros? Oh,
and the trademark should bail him out.
Oh, but there is a trip. Oh, and Gyrox with the snappy swing will get the kill, but Sam Sarah finds one. It's all in a Fox with 30 HP. Knife just completely out. Has to go for the classic. Time is so against him. They bought the fake for too long. This round should be over. The Rain Cloud will swing out, take off its head. Might actually go down to the Spike, but rounds around. 9-3 and Royal Flush. Well, do you believe in curses?
I'm whole sucking on that copium, trying to believe they can bring it back from 9-3 down. Just, yeah, really dominant half out of Bionics again. Tadros on pace for a triple-double with 11 assists. Really solid team play from Bionics.
To call this pistol a must-win, as I feel I often do on these streams, is of course an understatement. Royal Flush desperately need to find a way to win this round. Or they'll be in pretty dire straits potentially pretty quickly. It's going to be difficult to come back from. They're already They are already splitting through mid towards A, so playing to their strengths, playing to that split composition, though they are playing out of A right now. I worry they're going to overcommit to Cat now. 5 players pushing from the same angle is always extremely scary on Ascent. Now, there aren't automatic weapons on the other side, just pistols. Well, this is a frenzy, so I guess it's automatic. But, you know, fewer bullets can be spammed at this small, narrow corridor, but they still have to get through it. Hero notes first. You're going to smoke your way up. They have to deal with Kiro's utility. Oh, they're actually going to be able to get away without dealing with more than just the boom bot as they start to push in. Gotten control of Tree, now they've gotten control of the generator part. It's like Kiro's just diving in, he finds one, Tadros finds one as well. Kiro's gonna find Crazy M. All on to Shab, and he's down. It's all on to Shabs and Gyrox, and they went for the knife. Raincloud denies it. Forgot Gyrox's name for a second, but Kiro wanted his life.
Yeah, very, very solid round. They had the right read for Bionics. Getting 10 on the board and bringing him by. It should be on 11. And it'll be a lot for Royal Flush to bring back here.
Yeah, not much to work with for them. Just some Headhunter bullets and a Ghost, along with the classics. No armor, no nothing. They're not going to invest into this round. They actually sell the Ghost, so it's just classics and some Headhunter bullets. And Gyrox only has 2 of those. We'll see what they can get done. At least the damage in this round has to be the minimum ask for Royal Flush, and one player's already gone down. As the aggression from the defense goes off, that's 2 going down, more aggression from the defense. I realize my voice sounds a little bored. Apologies. I'm very much enjoying this match, but first 2 kills, first 3 kills now going the way of Royal Flush. Bionics want to close this round, they want to close the map really. Crazy M goes down to Kiro, it's the last player in the one-way smoke. Tabs will find one, double right click to the head, but gets traded by Tadros. 4 alive for the Bionics. Royal Flush really get nothing for that round, and they're gonna need to find something here, as they have to rattle off at least 9 of the last 10 here if they want to stay alive.
There.
It's definitely doable, and it all starts with this rifle round. You know, if they don't win it very cleanly, they're going to be in a lot of trouble if they lose. I mean, if they lose it, it's definitely over. So, a very big round here, and A-side being completely vacated. They're just fighting for mid and B control.
Yeah, Bionics want to end this thing. They want to end it fast. They went for heavy mid control. Unfortunately, they find no targets. Fortunately for Royal Flush, that would give them full control of the A side, but they're a little slow in getting there. They are eventually going to take it, but there are rotators coming through now. The door's going to fall fast. The retake is going to be imminent.
Gyrox is very low.
Yeah, Gyrox is really low as well. However, Shabs on the flankers has done good to take care of 2 of them. It's on to Kuno now. Pop flashed himself out. It's a bit of a wide flash, but it gets John Lull to turn around at the very least. So now 3v3 here. It's already not clean for Royal Flush, but they just need the round at this point. Retake starts to come in. Tadros and Kiro close on Gyrox. The shotgun will do some work. Kuno takes down 1. Kiro will find a second with the shotgun. It's going to end up going in the favor of Bionics. That is, I mean, there was a nail in a coffin probably a while ago, but we're getting close to the last. It's now 12-3. Royal Flush are on broken by. They have to find a way to now rattle off all 9 of those 10 they needed in a row.
Yeah, I mean, they're still gonna. Looks like they're gonna get a couple rifles. It's gonna be on low shields and. Okay.
Cute transition.
Yeah.
Getting a little overeager to get to get done with the stream. I see, Ramen. Come on.
Hey man, it's late. Give them a break. It's what, midnight for East Coasters?
Yeah, it's late. It is quite late. So I'm excited to be here. I love casting. I love casting for the VDC. I was excited to get a premiere game going. We have so far. We saw a really competitive first map, but Bionics, it's been all Bionics in the second map. They look to close things out. It's Gonna take a heroic effort
Need
from
that
Royal Flush to keep this thing even just alive. Not to mention win.
You want to find it?
Gyrox had a chance, couldn't convert.
Without
Interesting Cosmic Divide. The Rain Cloud will find Crazy M. It's coming down to the last legs here. John Lull does find one though. Fox has the spike. This is really nervous because he loses it. It's now isolated. Oh, the showstopper coming through. It's all on the Shaps. 1v3, 1v2 now. That's a nice little tap. Noted by the Prowler. It's not an operator. Has to deal with the operator. Tries to dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge, but not enough. Zamzera will go to the Headhunter. And it is a clean 13-3 out of Bionics to keep themselves alive. Just on the border of the playoff hunt. They need things to go their way. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible.
Yeah, they definitely. I'm pretty sure they need 2-0 in order to even have a shot at it. And going up against Team Ego next week, that's a decider right there. If it goes 1-1, I think Ego should lock in that playoff spot.
Ego actually went 0-2 tonight, which means Bionics did gain a game on them. I need to check what Finest did, Emerald. They got 2 forfeit wins, so
Yeah.
actually, Finest now goes into a tie, I believe. No. Yeah, no, they go into a tie at 13-13 with Team Ego, and Bionics will go to 12-14 playing Team Ego. So they actually need 2 things to happen. They need to 2-0, of course. And they need Emerald to drop 1 map. I don't actually know. I'm going to have to check the tiebreakers on that real quick because I really want to know before we throw this or turn off the stream. It does look like Bionics won the first series against Emerald and split the second. So Bionics does hold that tiebreaker. So if they can 2-0, and if Emerald drop a single map to Vaporwave, they'll have slipped their way into playoffs. It's still alive. The hope is still there. Royal Flush, as we mentioned before the match as well, will be playing for first seed against Inferno. So a lot of interesting matches in our final week of Premiere, our final match day of Premiere on Friday to be coming. We'll see which one of those we can get on stream here.
I mean, I would definitely think Inferno and Royal Flush would be a key. I mean, all of the Premier games are really key at this point. So it'll be interesting to see which ones end up making it.
I see you're shilling for your own team.
I mean, of course, but also Ego and Bionics, that would be a really good one. Whatever Emerald plays would be a good one. I know there's one that's going to be a double FF, wink, wink, nod, nod at a specific team, but yeah.
Well, we also want to get a contender match on stream if there are any with playoff implications. I have not checked, but I will be because that is my job here. But it's not my job right now. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Chill the Rose. Nadesy has been casting alongside me all night. We are very happy to have brought you those 2 matches unexpectedly. It's been a very long cast. We appreciate you guys all coming out tonight, and we will see you on Friday for the last regular season stream. On Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Advanced Grand Finals, and we should shortly be getting the Master Grand Finals scheduled as well, so keep an eye out for that. We're very excited to bring you those matches. Again, thank you for watching, and have a fantastic night.